Let's see this.
To shut down the Venom, so they don't need to ban the Venom, right? They're one of those teams that doesn't panic against
Let's see this.
more traditional all-in composition as we prepare here, folks, for game 1 of our finale. And I am so
sad
excited
100
to see
Thieves
this
is not
start.
here.
You see Nero there, obviously using that Jeff for at least a speed boost off the rip, and yes, there it goes with the switch back there from Nero onto the Luna Snow. Speedery on that Storm. Cal showing up here on the Winter Soldier. Saw some success with that over this
Let's
tournament.
go, Envy. Hey, what's up, TTK, sis?
But that goes back to that composition of the anti-dive if they wanted to choose that as Trust Me. We'll be on that Venom, and here we go.
Let's get it. Have you talked to your brother? I hope he's I hope he's not taking it too hard. Third place is amazing. Third place still wins like what, $60,000?
Trust Me, gonna engage. Down goes Crystals immediately. Goodbye to that regen aura as they do lose one. Trust Me on his Speedery. He does not miss with those tendrils. Naga gonna find Cal now. That's 2 down for the side of Envy. Rad looking really good off the rip. These initial fights are so strong for Rad. When you have these,
Thank you.
gonna find Trust Me right back though. Level 1 Crook.
What time is it for you right now? Almost 2:30.
So much damage, so much healing. Rajaro now with Month. Envy heavily down now as Rad does have the point, 6% and counting.
Well, and right now, I'm actually I feel like Rad might have at least done very well in that draft phase because now Speedery's going.
We haven't heard from him yet. I hope he's doing good though.
To make sure Nero gets the team up with.
I messaged him as well.
How good that is to make sure Nero can always push away the divers, but still, I mean, Luna's
Rad
so
taking
hard
the
to live,
first,
even after that cooldown
the
runs
first
out.
point. Wow.
We'll see if they can. I mean, they have one of the strongest backlines in the game, and same thing for Rad. But Rad maybe can set up the momentum with Melio dive with Trust Me.
We're seeing the Iron Fist from
the thing about
Speedery?
Rad is if they get point early like this, they tend to succeed heavy because they do have a composition like Venom who could stall point for a very long time, and that's all their goal is now, is to try to hold the point. As we see immediately, out goes that cooldown. Trust Me gonna fall though as Kaluj gets some serious damage out. Out we go with the end song. Does not collide. Burned out of the sky. Great focus there. Melio going to get strangled prison. Down goes 2 as Rajaro.
Wow.
And Cal cleans up Naga, and that is a great retake here. At this point, they burned.
What's
another
crazy to me
cooldown,
is seeing
and they
that
are up in
Envy
numbers,
got
so
Torch
well done, Envy,
and Phoenix
on this
banned.
fight to come back here, but 54% still and counting.
Yeah, they're trying to delay it on. I mean, you have both Shredder's Ultimates pop, Crook, and Fate. Giving their all. Here comes that crack and impact on the backside. Just get reset.
Wow, Fate lived for a very long time, though.
The stalls do come through.
Good job by Cal.
Pops the ultimate, but nobody's even here.
I don't know if I like it. I mean, at this point, I think they were just trying to get rid of the stall. 64% is close to that number they're looking for off the rip there. They try to get a little bit above 70, and then at that point, it's a guaranteed teleport fight. If they lose one fight, it's over. So I think at this point here, folks, Rad is up for this map, at least right now, but we know how MB is. They get punched and they turn into the Hulk. They do not take it lightly. Trust Me now going to set up and look for the back line, but they do have Iron Fist just kind of setting up and marking as Venom has a ton of movement resetting towards the strategist.
Yeah, you can always kind of change compositions, right? They're going for that counter dive, but they still have to play the objective with.
I'm really surprised, like Rad and Envy are not like running into each other, and
Root should get a lot of value, like talk about.
They're playing very passive compared to the other games.
Again, burning that cooldown. Cal peeling for the back line. Out we go with the Psionic. Doesn't find the back line. Great focus there. Kaluj going to pull out the Crystal. Nero is starting in that dance floor. Rajaro still holding on to that Psionic. Not a lot of value out of either. Does force out cooldowns though. Into the back line we go. Again, strangling prison from Window. Trust Me says it's not going to matter as they take out 2 more. Window finds Crook, but Rajaro gets 2 more, and that is back in Rad's favor.
Yep, back and forth.
It's pretty even.
Making those counter swaps, or at least going.
It's pretty even. The one thing I noticed that Rad does better than any team is Rad is very good with comboing ults. They are very, very good.
On that Groot and on that Emma, the problem with playing counter dive is that you are kind of straightforward, right? You have to kind of play in these positions and you know where you are, where for Rad, or rather the enemy team knows where you are, and for Rad, they can sort of play flexible. They can play all over the map and get you poked out before they go for those dives and set up angles, off angles to come through on the back line, make sure that both Nero and Month are uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it forces you to keep, eyes in 2 different directions, right? That is the problem, and they keep finding value that way. So great idea and great strategy from Rad. Is Speedery going to find Crook early in the neutral, though? And that is a big fight. We haven't seen a ton of fists, but definitely playable, especially when Luna's on the field. Dance floors match. Who's going to dance the hardest, though, as the battle begins? Cal holding on to this Kraken impact. Naga on the high side. Rajaro on a Nero, though. Speedery on a Naga. But the numbers are evened out. Strategists are down to the side of Envy, and that's a scary position. Rajaro gonna drop Month. That's another level 1 Crook on a Cal, and things are getting dicey as Rad is up heavy.
Chad, do I watch the match or play RDR2? Watch the match, bro.
Just using that block cooldown.
Yes, MP, I'm pretty sure.
Great way to hold on for that whole moment, but now it's the dangerous position as they are dropping like flies.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to win unless Shredder's ultimate.
Wow, Trust Me is crazy.
To that Luna Snow, Kaluj does get one, but man, it's gonna be.
I think the first round goes to Rad. Wow, the first cloth map goes to Rad. Wow.
take round number 1.
At that point, it's
wow,
up to
wow,
you, save the cooldowns. I don't know. I like the idea of them going in there and burning also try to hold, but losing Speedery, and Speedery did a great job for the record holding that point. As you see, Cal is locked in, angry, faced right now. Did not take that lightly. Rad trying to stay calm, cool, and collected, keeping their energy forward, and that's how you got to keep that momentum. I mean, that was disgusting.
It was almost a blessing in disguise. I mean, we talk about the best duelist players finding picks before these fights even started, the neutrals like Speedery did onto level 1 Crook, but it was almost a blessing in disguise, the fact that Crook did go down. He got KO'd early on, and that sort of resulted in him saving his ultimate, saving it for next round. And also, like you said, I mean, because it was Nero having the portal, he was about, I believe, 80% to Luna Snow ult. Now he doesn't have that ult ready to go. For Envy, they're going to speed boost out of spawn with the Jeff, so obviously it's not going to be incredibly exciting to see that character come up potentially. But for Rad, they're giving everybody armor packs from Fate on his side. He's switching back to Luna Snow, obviously getting that little bit of advantage.
Should bans work like this in comp?
This midseason, that really is.
I'm against it.
And the game's
I don't think you should save.
I
don't think you should save. Like, it makes sense saving for teams because teams work together and whatnot. But when you have ranked, I feel like it shouldn't work because you're gonna have like those Spider-Man one tricks or those people who are like, hey bro, trust me, I'm a one trick. I can diff them, man, and then they're gonna save their character, and then you guys are gonna lose because the character that you saved goes like 3 and 16. But I do think they should increase bans.
Hiding on Loki as well, ready to go for that dive with the Venom. Now they're kind of coming back with that dance floor from Red.
Melio onto the back line, dancing the butterfly out, doesn't find value. Nice pancake there from Nero, good comms, and they are going to proceed to do that while
I would be really surprised if Rad takes this first map, though.
Trust me on a Kaluge. Melio going to find Month. Speedery gets 1, but it will not matter. Trust me, how many can he find as they get 3? Built different, make it 4.
I mean, right now, it seems like Envy's trying to find a solution. They have Speedery going over to that Wolverine, and they're playing that counter dive composition. But honestly, I feel like in the current patch of this game, in my opinion, I just think diving is a lot more, it's just a lot stronger. You can set the pace, you can set the tempo, you can force out Shredder's ultimates early. However, in that last fight, they did use level 1 Crook's ultimate. They might have to find pickoffs early for Envy. They have both Shredder's ult ready to go. We'll see how this fight plays out. Rad's going to want an extended one to build level 1 Crook's ultimate.
Yeah, Rad is playing lights out right now, no doubt about it. See how Trust Me right there, folks, for those who don't know. Utilizing, you can use that cooldown, your height. All you want to do, folks, when you're playing Venom is use that wall climb to initiate with your jump. Save the Chendril for the way out if you want to use that grapple. Trust me, you got to find Month with the Feast, though, early on, and that's a massive pick again. Cal, though, says right back at you, sir, as Trust Me goes down. Rajaro trying to get some entrance with that
Oh, come on, Envy, bro. Come on, Envy. I need you guys to, like, I need you guys to get with the program, bro. What's going on, man?
Now shoving them back into that corner. Naga
it's supposed to be WTF.
A ton of damage out onto the front line, and Window goes down now. Melio with some great shots there, right to the dome of Groot. No longer Groot, if you will. I am what? As they're back in the spawn door. Speedery gonna find Rajaro. And will that turn around, folks? Kraken Impact ready.
This we're talking about Speedery being one of the best players in the game. He picked off Rajaro after the Diamond Form's over, so he is not CC immune. So great work for Speedery. The fight's still happening. It's an incredibly long one. Rad are just delaying.
Yeah, no alts left.
Oh, I said hi to
Gongwang
again.
Right, 78%
and,
using this portal early. At this point, let's make it a one-fight game. Get to 99. That is smart play, and that's what Rad does best. And I think you need to find a way to shut this down, and they are, as Cal going to take out Bait Window.
I mean,
Rajaro, you can see Groot doing a good job shutting down some of that dive with walling off some of those angles. Speedery finds Trust Me building, going right to the spawn door, thinking about it, says, I don't want to do that anymore.
Appreciate it, Ali Bay. I'm feeling a little better.
The passive cooldown for Speedery, which does greatly impact the way that you play Wolverine.
Yeah, and this is still pretty solid for Rad. I mean, they got point tickets on the board. They're coming up both Stratus Ultimates, and they keep picking up Month. That's the player you talked about earlier. Trust me, finding these pickoffs early, and that's kind of what's setting Envy back right now. The pace of play from Rad is just too much, and Envy
has to play flawlessly, chat. Envy has to play flawlessly to take this.
Are a little bit better. Maybe we can see something out of
flawlessly.
Now over to Punisher too. So I wonder how they're going to do here instead of the Bucky. I feel like Bucky's better for the hard field, but with Cal switching out the shotgun, definitely can do a lot more damage, even though he doesn't have the CC.
Yeah, I like the idea. I think the problem right now.
Oh, I'm actually really surprised they're playing. We don't see a lot of Punisher lately, Chad. I'm surprised they're playing Punisher.
Tackle goes out, Kaluge on Melio though, and that is a good fight early on as we do see the Psionic. Not able to get too much value yet. Oh, very close there on height. Good utilization of that cooldown. Out goes Venom again with the dive, but that's going to take some time to reset. Going straight into a Loki though, fully healed up now. ready for the next fight.
Does he play with his elbows on the chair? It looked like he was playing with his elbow on the chair. Oh, that's weird. That's very interesting. I've never seen that before.
But it's all about who gets the better strategy assault in this moment. Window does have strangling, which will likely force out one. If they can find a dual assault to combo,
you do that? That's weird.
Right through one of those strategy slide ultimates.
I have my whole arm on the table.
Gonna clean up Window. Mutt goes down from Naga 2.
I think this might be a GG chat. I think this might be a GG's.
Get this W.
Yeah, right now, I mean, it looked like they're peeling so well. The pole's going to have to come out from somebody. Looks like Window in this case, so they can draw it out. But Cal goes down. Month is coming back with the copy. But again, did he fall early in that fight? I believe he did. So in this upcoming fight, they didn't have the copy ready to go. However, because Fate used his ult, maybe Envy have a chance here with the portal play.
The portal goes out. Envy is able to touch. It's all about patience now. Great utilization of the Fate of both worlds. Team staying healthy. Damage boost shutting down just some clones for the moment. Do have that ult out. It is just going to buy time, but they do not even have point at this point. We need to find out who is on, and Melio in a flash, in a blink, is going to take out Kalush now on his Trust Me.
No way.
Dance the butterfly, patty cake for days. They are holding on.
The patty cake, bro. The patty cake.
Consistently find value after that ultimate goes off, and there it goes.
Oh, they're still falling down now.
Rad might take this first map. No teleport left.
Wow.
It's all about can they hold the stagger. They cannot.
I noticed something here, chat. I noticed something. When a team, if you let the other team ban Phoenix and Human Torch, it's GG's. They did that. What do you call it? Rad did that against 100 Thieves. You can't. You have to have those characters, bro. I feel like those characters are so strong.
Everything he did in that situation, they're able to take advantage of that. No more cooldowns to save the Vanguards who were low because they were missing the strategies killing each other. So fantastic work from Melio. And obviously the team, I mean, the pace of play was crazy. I thought that there was a comeback potential there from Envy, but it's so hard to peel, especially on these maps. And
why don't they save one? I'm pretty sure they didn't think they were going to ban one. I don't know. I'm not the coach, chat. I'm not the team. I don't know what's going on, but I personally think
the butterfly forcing both strategists to keep eyes away, patty cake back and forth.
I personally think
you cannot crystals during those moments because that's just the instinctive reaction when you see Dance of the Butterfly.
Right.
But then after,
Cal's not performing well because of you using that computer clearly. What? That's not true.
Unable to do much.
I did well. I'm going to rewatch that game.
In between the team fights, so much value from that.
Do you know if you're going to get the code for your versus match the devs? No, it's a whole different client, chat. So even if I got the code, even if I got the code and I brought it home to spectate, I can't do it. It's two different clients. They're on a professional client or the tournament client.
Right?
Sure.
We've talked
certain
about
maps
how
for sure.
Certain maps for sure. Yeah, a lot of domination maps. I think though do enable these sort of like Black Panther compositions. That's why you see a lot of snowballs with that sort of stuff. And the same thing with the Emma Psylocke team up dives that come through from Melio with the Venom. So just because of that, it just
match versus devs win. Oh, we already finished that. That was before this game.
Go to these more like payload centric maps.
That was before this game.
That have to constantly move. And you have to escort them.
Yeah.
Those maps, I think that you're going to see a little bit more value out of these counter dive compositions. But we know how good Envy are at those comps as well. But that maybe is that weakness that we mentioned. You can see on the side they do have Window, an incredibly good Venom player, but have we even really seen Envy play much of that Venom composition like other teams?
Not too many times. A few times for sure, but it was more so when banned out. It was more of a targeting situation. I do think Window is a mean Groot, and I think Groot will see.
Devs were outclassed.
No, Groot is incredibly strong.
The devs are actually really good
in the next season.
But the devs are really good.
Great pick. I'm with you. I think Venom is finding a lot of value with Psylocke. They're similar to Cap Psylocke, where a lot of those compositions are knocking up folks with the Cap push, and then when that happens, Psylocke has easy tracking because it's more of a falling pattern, and that's something you can read without a lot of juking. Similar story with Venom. When Venom hard engages, uses that ultimate and knocks up the team, Psylocke can collapse, but you don't even need to do that when you're Trust Me, who just gets KOs every time.
Yeah, and I guess since we're in the grand finals, I'm sure we have a lot of new viewers joining us on the broadcast. So first of all, thank you so much. Make sure to follow if you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, subscribe. And obviously, I think because of that, a lot of people don't know some of the different terminologies.
The streamer team could compete against the pro teams in this tournament, not going to lie. No, we would have got rolled, chat. We would have.
There's sort of two main compositions in this.
We would have got rolled.
A lot of people talk about. There's sort of dive compositions, which you saw Rad play when they had that Venom and Psylocke dive, which in this situation, Shib, it feels like there's a lot of teams that, when we look back at the stats, maybe different. The stats don't matter.
Let me make myself small so you guys can see the stats.
Is like kind of how many people are like going down, how many people are able to get those KOs on those flanks. You notice that these dive comps don't really get a lot
Trust
of
me
damage, right?
has 14 final hits, and Rajaro has 10 final hits. I think it's safe to say that the tanks on Rad carried.
The unfortunate part about a lot of these counter dive compositions, you know, for Rad they're playing more aggro, they're setting up flanks, they're setting up Melio on those dives. You're not really getting a ton of
that was
in,
a but the one thing I don't like how they do this is, why don't you do the 2 tanks first, the 2 DPS next, and then the 2 supports? I don't like how they show a support, like look at Rad, support, DPS, support, tank, DPS, tank.
Like play aggressive because they were playing a what I like to call a front to back composition, right? And what a lot of the
more
pros
traditional,
call,
right?
More traditional, yes, exactly. Where you kind of play as a unit, you play like you called out Groot, you play that Emma, 2 characters that are a little bit more immobile. Same thing with the
Wow,
Bucky.
his accuracy that match
really
was
so
69%.
That's why Spectated is having a hard time. He's figuring out what do I play with this composition, but you sort of play it slow, front to back style, where you're doing a ton of damage, you're playing as a cohesive unit. You don't really make a ton of individual
Would it not be
plays.
fun to have the
That's why
streamers
you see a
play
lot
the
more
loser
Jeff
of the lower
lately
bracket?
because
No,
these front to back compositions that Jeff enables you to kind of speed and go aggressive, and you can't really,
as a unit, right?
As a unit, you can't really do that in this game as easily unless you're playing that Jeff, which we haven't seen that sort of change come through for these front-to-back comps.
Yeah, I think that's a great call out, and they're showing Naga here. I wanted to mention, I think it was really difficult for Kaluj to find much value on that map, just simply because of the fact that their team was so off-angle and dive focused. You're really looking towards Crook and Fate, and what I wanted to say was Naga was essentially on off-angle pressure the tank duty, where they were up in that central location, especially on the last map, just dealing raw damage to the tank's front line, so they really couldn't even go after the strategists because their strategists were being attacked by Trust Me, distracted, so it was just damage to the face, unable to get away, as we see Trust Me here popping off, diving in, hyper aggro, Kaluj gets a pick, but I think Trust Me's value. And
Jay is GM, he can't do shit. Yep, you caught me, bro.
Invaluable, correct?
Absolutely, I think that's going to be the next evolution of this game. We were talking about how a lot of the players here, especially in the grand finals, are the future of this game because of their flexibility.
Okay, I have to go back to the venue for a second.
The pace of play.
Because one of the it's not for anything specifically. One of their teammates, SJP's at like the hotel, so I have to go give his mouse to his teammate, and his teammate's gonna give the mouse back to his. Yeah. So chat, yeah. Also, I'm in my 30s, bro. Some of the people on GZ were 16 playing in this tournament. I'm twice their age. Twice. My voice is dying. Twice their age. Okay, chat. I gotta go give back the mouse that I used.
I think that they were always kind of the ones receiving the dives from Rad, and the pace was
also, I was top 500. Frick you. I'm gonna go get back the mouse that I used. Emily's gonna take over and enjoy the queen.
The biggest key I like to tell people, and it really is this at the highest level as well, it's never that complicated. It's sort of simple. Sometimes you just want to look at the strategy results.
Sure.
Right? You just like, okay, Month has his, you saw
God
Hero
damn,
has his, so they have 2 ultimates on the set of Envy, for example. And on the opposite side, you saw maybe Fate has 1. Maybe he only has 1 Fate of the Worlds. And because of that, obviously 2 greater than 1. And we know strategy results are some of the strongest in the game. But what changes that, what can change the fight, is the pick-off potentials that we saw. But
how old is
really,
Cal? He's kind of fine.
Simple, dumbed-down version.
Cal's like
Definitely look towards those strategists and
in general,
He's
right?
20, yeah.
It's alt tracking, and that's why we should have a discussion on alt tracking. And these teams, for the most part, although it can be diversified across the team, have someone that their job, for the most part, is to alt track, have an understanding
Jay,
roughly
can you coach
where the
me?
enemy is
Yes.
at, and make that call out of what is coming in the next fight. Because, like you were saying, strategies ultimates are
How
incredibly
can I
strong.
get banned when I had such a popular clip?
Oh, true. As you progress through the game, but that is a great call out.
Yeah, absolutely. It does
Oh, he's the
complex,
#1
and
clipper
that's
right
the most
now.
important thing to note about professional play is that there's a lot of things that you can't really do in ranked because of the fact that you're not playing at this level, and it's always hard to emulate your favorite pros. Like, just because you copy their sensitivity or their resolution doesn't make you
takes a lot more. It's a cerebral game, and since we just saw Envy lose in the past, they typically choose maps along the lines of Central Park and Yggdrasil. So they're very comfortable on those maps. I'm curious to see what they will be choosing, and we did see Yggdrasil there on the bottom of our first conversation. So they are looking to go back to that traditional tried and true map out there early on in Season 0.
Emily, what rank are you?
I love that map as it is.
One above all.
Yep, absolutely. I'm curious to see what happens in this upcoming map. And
yeah, the temperature is perfect.
About even some of the teams out of the tournament right now.
Vinny is 28. Oh, that's good. Jay still has a shot at pro. No, but my rank is, oh, this is so embarrassing. It is currently silver. I think my peak was plat, and ever since the rank reset, I have not grinded enough ranked games, so... This last season, I've only played 2 games.
Rad to that map, so maybe it's vice versa.
Sure.
Rather,
Hi, Hales
but yeah,
Gaming.
these
Welcome
type of
back.
things like map win percentage.
Does the
is
tournaments
what
have
these
age
pro players
restrictions?
look
Well,
at.
it seems
Look at
like
mainly when they're deciding those map picks.
Yeah, and
16 and up.
Composition. So I think we need to see
I know
here,
Overwatch
I think we need to see the
League
Venom
was
ban.
18
I've been
and
saying
up.
this for a while against, trust me.
Every
A
tournament
very
is
strong
different.
Cap as well, but I think Cap is more manageable.
I think 16's a good
Emma,
age though,
simply due to
because
the
if
fact
you
that
wait
can
too
trace
late,
Cap, you can build that laser charge off Cap
them
shield.
reflexes won't be the
Venom,
same.
though, with just the raw speed out
TTK
in and out,
sister
especially if
is
you're
still
playing Venom
here.
properly,
Who's winning
but
right
he's got wall
now?
climb engage into the
I
instant
think
out across the map.
Rad.
It is so hard, and it does just it brings your
Sorry,
mind to the wrong
guys, I've
focus.
checked
Instead of
out
peeling or instead of finding value
this
in chasing their
first
back line,
round because
you're consistently just
I was
walking around chasing the essentially invulnerable Venom.
Right, absolutely.
making travel
I think that would
plans
be an
for
interesting
Jay,
choice that does
so I
come
wasn't
out.
paying attention.
Meanwhile, Human Torch ban and Mantis ban off the rip here, Shib.
Yeah,
Oh,
Human Torch
Noah,
is just gonna every time they do not want Speedery on
I feel so
that
bad that
hero.
you got
It's like
timed
a
out,
how
but
much of a skill ceiling that Human Torch has
Jay
in being one of
doesn't
the best, if not
necessarily
the best
do
duelist in the
one-on-one
game. You don't
coaching,
want the highest
just
ceiling in those hands.
just
So,
like
goodbye to
he doesn't
Team
just
Gray
take up
for the side of
people in
Rad,
chat.
but that's going towards Cal.
It's
So
more
targeting
like
those
you
duelists
join the
and locking
Discord,
in the Loki,
and
which you
sometimes
do not
Jay
like that,
does
for sure.
coaching-related
I
content.
think the Loki is going to be scary. I mean, on
And
the opposite side for Team
I don't know
Envy,
what the
but
selection
maybe it's-
process
it
is
map
like,
dependent.
but
This is what we're talking about. I mean, trust me, was
I'll
mentioning it,
go
and I
back
talked about
and
it
tell
earlier,
Jay's
on a
team
separate day. If you
to
missed that, basically he was telling me that you know, Luna Snow
to create
is
like
good
a
hero, and
Discord
same thing
channel where
with
people
Loki,
can
but
submit their
Loki's a lot more
videos for
important
review.
on certain maps, right? And you talked about how on Yggdrasil this could be a map.
What does
where
M
Loki is
play?
really
I
strong, and
love
sometimes it
playing
feels like they're
Psylocke.
unbeatable.
I
So
love
that
playing
could help them in the
Namor.
long term,
I love
but
playing
there are
all the
heroes that
heroes
enable
that
Loki like
Jay
Luna
hates,
Snow, and that's why
like
Envy goes
Penny
that ban on the
and
opposite
Iron Man.
side.
Yeah,
And Jeff.
goodbye to the
I
Warlock,
like Jeff.
goodbye to the Mantis.
I just
Luna
don't play
Snow,
him in ranked,
Get her out of here. That is a
I'm
combination
not
that's
a
very
feeder.
difficult to power through. So I do like the idea of removing that. If you're going to lock in Loki, got to get rid of the Luna. And there is
Silver
the Torch
Gang,
ban as well. We have our final
slay!
lock on this side. Envy
Yeah.
is going to be locking
I'm
in
not
here
super
shortly.
pressed on my
But
rank
honestly,
because I feel
you know,
like,
it is the Psylocke, so
you
that
know,
is,
I've been in
that's what they did.
Twitch
The Psylocke got so much
Rivals.
value in the last map, it
I've
gets them,
scrimmed
so I do
against
think this
Flats.
is
I've
a
canceled
good
his
choice by the side
Groot
of
ult
Envy
before.
here, because that
Like,
combination enabling the
I
clone,
played with
the
Cal
burst
on my
potential,
team
although I don't
before
think
as
it's
well,
necessary for
okay?
Psylocke. It enables
And
much
there were
faster
moments
insta-1
where
KO
I remember I
potentials,
shot Ride
potential, so
Mazing
that's a good
out of
pick.
the
That's a good
air,
pick, I
and
think.
so
Okay, yeah, I like that, and I like that we're also seeing.
it's
the
really about
Psylocke
having
protect come
fun.
through from
You
Team
know, if you
Envy
have
on their
friends
side-
in this game,
side,
especially,
sorry,
like it's about
Captain
just
America ban
having
on
fun.
on their side as well, and you know, I want to see Envy maybe, like you said, play that Venom, maybe put Window over to Venom, like we've seen him do well on, and you know, that's the tough part though, is because trust
And
me, is such a hardcore
don't be
communicating player.
too
I wonder if they
married
play
to the
that Venom dive a little
identity
bit better, right? I wonder
of-
if maybe EU
of the
in general
rank.
can play that dive to a
Like,
higher
let's
level,
say
and
that you never
I
climb
know
out
that's-
of
it's
silver.
interesting because I think
It's okay. Like,
traditionally
if you
Europe-
had some good
you know,
plays,
maybe
or
Europe
if
teams
you
known for playing
are
front to
in
back
Jay's
style,
content,
same thing
and
for
you
North
1v1
America, but,
Jay and you got a
know,
few
nowadays,
kills, like,
especially in Marvel Rivals, it feels like a lot of the European
just-
teams are very good at dive.
you know, you can use that and hold it against them for the rest of your life. That's what I'm doing. Hey, in my head, I'm better than Flats. And maybe, you know,
is not going to know whether to try to ban that out because they found success running that triple
maybe I can 1v1 Ride Mazing too. Well, that's what I tell myself.
Great idea there.
Nobody else needs to know.
Having that comp in your
Yo,
back pocket, they
good
don't really care
morning,
about
good
these bans that are more
morning.
targeted towards their duelists. It doesn't
Welcome,
matter.
Yukoni.
And I think months ago, Shib, just to sort of
All right,
recall back to
game
what you
starting.
mentioned with that triple Vanguard, triple strategist, that you know teams were trying to make sure they could run that the whole map.
Yeah.
You know, before like
Okay,
practicing
official.
triple Vanguard, triple strategist throughout the entirety of a
The
map.
Discord?
And these days, you kind of just play it first point and switch off.
Thank you,
so
MP.
can't do
Yeah,
it the
that's
whole
his
time because
Discord.
of that evolution of people learning. Maybe don't play triple Vanguard, triple strategist in the second phase or third phase of series.
And we begin, folks. Loki going to be locked in here for Envy as they do press forward the bans on Torch, Phoenix, Atom, and Captain America. The games begin. Trust me, not going to be on the Venom yet. Instead, going to be on that Cap.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a scary hero to play against, right? Because we know how good Captain America can be, and the dives
This
are always
is the
so
final
strong. People
match.
value how good Captain America is, but we'll see
Right
how much value they
now,
can get, because right now, front-to-back style,
Rad
that
took
Envy are
the
playing
first
yet
map.
again with that Bucky,
First map.
and with that Groot,
Yeah.
is enabling to walk up,
But
Trust
it's
Me
best
takes
of
advantage
7,
of Muck
so
going-
it
being out
might
of
go
position
on
again.
for a long
Trust
time.
me just continuously is doing this here. I mean,
Yeah.
finding so much value early on. Cal, though, going to
does
find
go down.
Trust Me as I say that. Nice.
Oh!
Another yoink from downtown. Nero going to clean up Naga there. That's a lot of pressure as they are walking forward. I liked this pick here. Not too much, not too consistent, at least, in this tournament when it comes to Winter Soldier, but those are great pulls.
Yeah, we
you're
usually
right.
we'd
They
see Cal
banned
play
Phoenix.
Jean Grey, a.k.a. Phoenix, but because it was banned, we're seeing him play a lot more Bucky, which does a very similar thing, except maybe slightly less, I suppose, in terms of the peel department, but Portal back
That's
through.
okay.
Here comes that eternal
Spectated
bond,
good on multiple heroes.
Trust me with the Portal, and that is an early usage of that cooldown there. Trust me, you're going to find Month, though, with that combination off of the Phoenix. So good play there with Naga. It's all about using burst damage quickly. Rajaro going to take out Cal now. At this point, just be patient if you're on the side of Envy. Do not commit cooldowns, and they will fall together. Do not stagger as well. They're trying to wait as long as they possibly can on Kalush, but at this point, just feeding that strategy assault waited a little bit too long.
I mean, they might come back into it, but I think the biggest problem is Month's gone down, got KO'd 2 times in a row now, and it's not necessarily his fault entirely. Like, he could be using his
I'm
Loki
rooting for
crystals a
Rag
little
because
bit
I don't
earlier,
like the names
but you can
Month
also
and
say maybe they need to be taking
Window.
out the opposite side of Trust Me a little bit faster. So
That's
two things are sort of
funny.
happening right now. It's going to be a big
the names
ultimate
are
fight,
so
and also Level
neutral.
has built back up his copy, so they're not even that far behind, even though they committed their ult in the last fight.
And we see the Psionic again towards the back line. Great utilization of cooldowns, waiting some time first to get that healing. Kalush going to find Naga now, right in towards level 1 Crook. Yoink, saying not in my house. A bit of damage, but trust me, right through it is going to find Month, and then we'll see Nero, Cal, Window, and Speedery fall from that ultimate, and Envy committed a lot there too.
That's wild.
And that's why we see Dr. Strange banned on some of these maps, especially against a team like Envy, is because of situations like that with Trust Me coming back with the Portal, building up that Agamotto. And even though, sure, Dr. Strange, I think, isn't valued as high as a character like Emma Frost, or in this case, Captain America, you can still get massive value out of your ultimates if you're timed in the right place.
Wait, that's funny. Have you guys ever disliked a player because of their name?
Strangling Prison attempt from Window. This could be potentially fight winning, at least on this opening point 1. The team is going to reset on off angles. We'll see Naga behind them.
I wonder if there's anyone out there who's like, I don't like Dogman because I'm allergic to dogs.
Melio going to find Month and Month going down again early as Cal does as well. Naga from that off angle, unexpected, and that's what you want to see as a duelist getting these picks 56 seconds on. Envy on their heels.
Envy.
Rad walking them back towards the spawn door.
Not like
Yeah,
this.
right now Jean Grey is doing a little bit too much, and they still get that team up with Melio and Rajaro, so Rat have not lost a step,
Wow,
and Speedery does get on it, though.
Good pick, yeah. Yeah, that's what they need. They need to get some momentum back in their favor, and that is the pick that could do so, running them back into the side angle. Great walls there. Broken, but it doesn't matter as Rajaro goes. Envy pissed off now, still pressing forwards and walking them through towards that back door, but they cannot hold them as they are out. Trust me, with the Eye of Agamotto, will this work out? I'm not quite sure.
I mean, he's waiting for it. He got grabbed out of the sky as well. They know he has the ultimate as well, so I'm sure they're playing around it. Here it comes.
Nice eye, it gets a ton. Crystals
That's
are out though.
a massive
Sustainable crystals
eye.
on the side, off Rad. They do see Fate fall,
Good
but
ult
this is
from
for
Month.
Envy as Trust Me falls as well at Window on Rajaro. And they are going to get point 1 as numbers, and there is no teleport. Envy
thank God.
stepping up when necessary.
Yeah, and this is the play that Envy needs to
Wait,
make.
yeah,
This is why we talk about
Flats?
flexibility of players, is that Cal
What's wrong
now
with
is going over
Flats?
that Wolverine, because everything is a lot more front-to-back style when you're against that Phoenix, when you're against Rajaro on that front line. That Wolverine can do so much, but Cal has had to pick up that hero as of recently, and he's done such a good job.
I can't
now
think of a name right now,
they
but I
have
feel like there's
potentially a good
definitely
position in this
names,
phase of
whether
the
it be
game, because they do
streamers
have
or
that
whatnot,
copy.
where
They obviously on the opposite side will
just
have
fills me with
a lot of
anger.
value with those Terra capes, but early crystals pop by Month.
if I think of it, I'll let you guys
going to
know.
find Melio, and that is the 1v1.
I'm
You
shameless.
get a little bit of
I don't
ego
mind
from,
starting
right,
Twitter
as we're
drama
building
with
towards
people.
ultimate on both sides.
What have I got
Rad
to lose?
Gaining up here with Phoenix, but that's about it, as no one else has ult while the dance floor is gone. Cal holding on to this last stand. It could be huge if need be. Not even needing to use it as level 1 Crook goes down. Can we see a big last stand here from Cal?
Listen,
not quite necessary.
Envy
Trust me,
will
doing the
not
tap
go down
dance.
without a
It
fight.
won't
They
last
talk
long, and
so
Speedery
much
gonna
trash.
find another.
They're not gonna
Envy
just
down their momentum, and they are using
allow
it like a shot
themselves
of
to be
adrenaline.
walked all
And I
over.
think Speedery, obviously a huge pick
Think,
from him, but on the opposite
it
side, I
always
like how
takes
London's
these
playing.
boys
He's using his crystals a
a
lot
couple
earlier when
of-
Trust Me comes in, not expecting that
couple
much
of
damage
maps
to happen
to warm
because
up.
there's not as many good Captain America players, I think, in this tournament. So because of that, Month is not expecting these incredibly fast, combinations from both Melio and Trust Me. So he's had to use his crystal a little bit earlier, and he's adapting well.
When not
And
I thought Flats'
another
name is
ult
Flats
out for the
because
side of
his,
Kaluj,
isn't
and that
his
gets a
last
ton of the
name
back line.
like
Can they collapse and find some value? Not quite yet, as Speedery still able to get
Clarity
Naga
or something?
Cal
I feel like
onto
I've seen it
Rajaro,
somewhere.
and they still keep this momentum up, being down in Ultimate's fate. Gonna launch that Eternal Bond. Did Cal hold on? No. Did use that Ultimate prior. Window waiting for the Strangling Prison. Month out there right now with the dance floor, keeping the team up.
You
We
bet
see Cal trying to find somebody in the offense, charging those balls on the
250K
group wall. You
Empanada
can do that.
Boy?
Do not forget. Make sure you're staying at 100 charge at all times. Far more
Well,
damage
I hope
for
you,
the Wolverine Cap. on the side of Rad, though. Naga coming
wish you the best.
with the end song. Melio with the dance. Rajaro, Naga, Melio again are going to sweep out Envy, but there's still enough time for them to come back and have one more fight.
Yeah.
They stagger Speedery here, 20 seconds left to go. I mean, no portal coming through. Cal can now switch to it. Okay, maybe they go for the stun and the spawn, though. They know they're going to go for the portal.
Trust me, because of the Q.
To make sure the stuns from Phoenix, from Jean Grey cannot come
He
through.
doesn't know how to spell trust me. It's
Yeah, I like this decision here, Cal, just scouting quickly, but I do think that this portal will work. 3 seconds on, they are through. Team behind them now, swapping locations. Now you play this essentially, if you're on the side of Rad, like you're on attack. Play on that wall. Do not leave that natural cover. Getting in front of nice out there on the side of Window, combined with Cal, who do find Melio, and that's a good start as they are up now in numbers. Cal still looking for the back line, just forcing out cooldowns. Up on the height, Naga trying to find Speedery. Speedery low. Dance floor goes out. Excuse me. Eternal Bond goes out. Pressed right through the point. And now Nero matches it back. Who's going to get the next big goal? Kaluge with the eye on a Fate. Will it land? They see Fate and he does go down. Speedery going to clean up. Everything's being pressed. Dance floor is out, and so is the dance of the butterfly. 2 dances now will result in 2 KOs.
Yeah, good re-engage there by Envy. They wanted to switch back to Kaluge to be the one to teleport instead of Cal, and right now it's going to be staggering to this point. I mean, they still want to stall it out. If he builds Capful, I mean, they could stall. I mean, they use the greens, still alive. Here's the Capful. They're delaying for Fate.
Potentially,
good
no,
wall.
not for long. Way to burst that quickly. Trust me, gonna play on point. Oh my goodness, I thought Trust me almost got to pick their Kaluge. Gonna clean up and peel that back line. Walking in now, Cal spinning to win. We do see a playoff of the portal here for the side. Of Rad now, with Melio trying to get the team there quicker. And they're not going to be able to win this fight, though, as Speedery, Kaluge. Naga finds Speedery, but not for long as Kaluge goes through that portal and returns to sender into Melio.
Yeah, you may be wondering, oh, maybe Month didn't use his ult there, but I think in this game,
Window put up some good walls there.
It's better to use your stuff a little bit too early, at least in ranked, than too late in Month. Committing the ultimate there, Rad. I mean, they could have stalled out for Fate to get ult. Trust me, it was definitely an overzealous play, but at times you have to go for stuff like that just because in Marvel Rivals you build those ults so quick. Now into this next fight, Rajaro does have that Sonic Seduction, but it's going to be
Why
against
are
so
these
much
Marvel
on
ladies
side
always
because
dancing?
They have Kaluge, because they have Window, so they're able to peel it off. But it will at least create some
I
space
really
for
like Cloak and Dagger's like little
that maybe slept on, and we'll get to that in a
reload
moment.
animation.
It's cool. Bond pressing forward, but the wall is going to help shut that down. Agamotto, is it huge? Melio goes down for Kaluge. Kaluge looking for more, but no, the team is going to reset utilizing those Loki crystals, and there is some serious pressure. Speedery with a 2-piece, 2IC3, going to break down some of these walls and find out it's actually his own teams. And Fate and Rajaro now, trust me, Envy walking them down, utilizing this momentum. But one thing I wanted to call out quickly, Groot is one of those Vanguards that takes a ton of damage, really feeds that backline strategist ultimates. You talk about things like Cap, it's more difficult when they're in the backline to heal up intensely. Instead, they're kind of doing their own thing, and that does not allow your strategist to get ult as quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to see Melio pop off now here on Wolverine. I think this is maybe his weakest hero in terms of his flexible hero pool, but we'll see how good he does here with Naga.
And we see a Psionic on a Window, a ton of damage out, but it will not be enough. Window going to turn that right back, very close to strangling. This could be game winning, folks, or at least map bar push winning on a .3. Kaluge trying to get that expulsion off, does not find a ton of value, does get some damage, getting charged. Ult's advantage heavily on the side of Envy now as Rad are falling out. Last stand, is it huge? Cal trying to find some backline pressure and does not manage to make it happen. Going right on to Fate now, does not miss a shot. Yes.
Wait,
Fate
Wolverine kidnapped someone, but
Legend gets one. Now heading towards Crook, who
they
tries to
didn't go
escape.
down. Okay, this is really good for Envy.
No strategist left here for Rad. Envy walking Window on Melio, and they are going to keep this going as Speedery will have that dance to clean up the final push.
Well, this is the tough part, is that they have Captain America, but for like what? You have no dive coming through, walls coming out, trust me, delaying. I mean, if you have the Psylocke, you at least create space for here,
there
but now,
it is.
I mean, but against the butterflies, you have greens on, you're going to stall, at least for a little bit on the side of Rad.
Naga very low, they need to find that pick, and they do. I have Agamotto onto the back line. That should be enough, folks.
Nice.
Envy pushes this the entire way.
Good shit, Envy.
Absolutely, for sure.
Oh yeah, Noah. So Jay doesn't do one-on-one coaching if that's what you want. So Jay's style of coaching is very unique. It's one of a kind. Jay kind of coaches / roasts you if you're down for it. So for anyone who really wants a coaching session from Jay, they're great. They really will up your game. But you also have to have thick skin. You know, he'll be nice to you, okay? He won't bite you guys too hard. but that's kind of Jay's style. It's funny though. It's abusive coaching. He coaches you like an Asian parent. Now, if you're here for like hardcore coaching, like you want someone to like, you know, be in Discord call with you while you're gaming, like you like that private one-on-one stuff, and you can't handle, you know, a bit of like banter. We actually do have a top 500 community member who really enjoys coaching, and his name is Crashman, aka Crash, aka Stream Sniper. So if you want that kind of coaching, Crash is the guy to go. And he's fantastic. And if you're a tank specialist, Crash is the best.
Yeah, no, you're right, actually. Instead, going to switch immediately, try to get an early pick, but no, the triple is out. Cal going to be on. Ooh, that Magneto Kaluge on the Emma, and Window is on that Groot, where you can see Month, Nero, and Speedery running a little more duelist damage. Oh, up we go from Naga. That's a big pick on a Cal. Cal trying to bubble out. Will they be able to escape? Great look there from the back line. Oh, my goodness! And great wall from the side of Window to help protect.
And that's the value of the Emma team up. You don't have to use it for damage on Magneto. You can use it for survivability. Go invisible for a second, then come back out. It's always so annoying trying to shoot a Vanguard in a situation like that. And right now, Envy, you know, doing a good job on the spawn hold, even though I feel like Rad's comp is not bad against it. It's actually pretty solid.
So funny because Envy has Speedery able to play the Ultron, same with Cal and Nero, and they all play Ultron at an insane level. Out we go with that Eternal Bond. Do we see some sort of shutdown? Ultron trying to keep the team healthy during that moment. Great idea, using it more defensively instead of offensively, as you won't find too much value on top of that Eternal Bond.
Lazy.
Trust me, going to take out Window. There is no rocket to bring back, although we have seen that. Cal going to take out Melio, though. Nero onto Naga, and this could be a fight back in their favor, and maybe see the Strange come through, or they may hold on, as Window did have ultimate before they got KO. That's tough.
It's tough indeed. I mean, they're still holding. Trust me, able to get Month, though. So they're slowly working themselves back into it, but the card has not pushed. It's already minute 30 off the clock. Trust me as well, already committed the ultimate. So right now, Naga with this ultimate has to go huge, but he's also going to clean up.
Cal's on Magneto now.
Happening, and Cal gets crook.
And they are just getting KO'd on point. They're making sure, folks, that when they fall, they are on the point. Do not give that extra space. There's no reason for it, as we will see a Strange potential portal here to keep it close, and then they'll be able to walk back for one more touch. And that is, like you said, a minute 30 off the clock. Are you kidding me? That is why that is so strong. Last time we saw 3 minutes, which was wild. But this time at just about half, the portal's coming in now. Window might lead here with that strangling prison. Be ready.
Official.
Yeah. Oh,
you coach? Good shit.
He got stunned.
What? Are you kidding me? Oh, Melio from downtown.
That's wild. Oh my god.
That's going to shut everything down for them.
Cal's so mad. Holy shit.
Here comes Rojaro in the high ground, commits the diamond form. Ultimate's out as well from Speedery, though, from Envy, so they still have a chance.
Yeah, that was disgusting. I can't say that enough. It took me for a shot. Great strangling prison, though, and they are going to come back and win this fight. And that's what they're looking for. As Window throws that strangling prison now, it's just a forced stagger. Buy your time, if possible, onto the final pick. Keep your eyes forward, but everybody does seem to go down. The rest of the team is resetting. But wow, that was an insane stun. It did help push them forward. But remember, folks, a minute on the clock. Rad up in ultimates. Kaluge, though, can help shut down some of those strategies.
I wonder if they had 4 cart ship, because the cart moves as fast as possible with 4 people on that objective, or 3.
Yeah, 3, because it's one arrow without anyone on cart, and then as you add people to the cart, yeah, it's 3 more for 4.
Oh, Strange is so fragile.
Kaluge committing the ultimate as well.
And Kaluge going to start off with that Psionic Seduction, heading right towards the strategist line. Instead, going to have to return back behind the cart, use that cover for the team, getting driven right back, and that's what the big ult here from Cal.
Nice, Cal.
Although we do see the copy there from level 1, it is keeping the team out right back at him. Trust me, and Crook going to find Speedery in Window. Can this team maintain position as Trust Me gets Kaluge? I'm not sure they can. At this point, it looks like Envy will be giving up point 1, and they'll have to return on point 2 unless they can make their way back. Cal going to think about it. Goes in, but it isn't going to last long.
Yeah, they're not leaving.
Ooh, I don't know if I like that.
Oh, they walled them off this time. Oh, unlucky.
Jim, this first point's always so hard, man. It's so hard to cap out on first point, and it is so path. Now that we enter the streets phase of the game, the second phase of the map, you get some more time in the bank, and I think the attack actually can be in a good position, especially with this Groot coming back. Envy, though, does have Speedery. and we've seen how much he does in these neutrals.
Yeah, agreed. I think we have to call that out there. That actually would have touched Month with a decent idea there to get to point with that.
Month wasted that all, unfortunately. Yeah, he took the long road.
Point, trust me, was on.
He was just taking the scenic route.
Shutting off that angle, the extra couple yards was all it took to get that point. So well played, Rad. Again, good idea, just was not put into fruition. Speedery on the high side now. Melio now dropping back. Remember, folks, you can melee like crazy with the Phoenix and deal a ton of damage to a group of whole team. Naga going to get tackled, and that's a good pick there. Speedery combo from Cal. They are going to keep up, and Speedery now starts that dance of the butterfly. Teams are separating. We do see level 1 Crook escape, but at this point they have grabbed the point, and that's important here as Envy holding point. Even if they lose this, will make the team go back to get this thing scooching forward. Melio on a Month, though. Out goes Rajaro trying to get the team tranced up, and they are. Melio going to clean up Speedery. And another as window falls. Cal falls, and they are going to find all 6.
Yeah, and they are. They're getting the cart forward even more. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go, but that was so many ults committed.
There was so much going on, guys. I was lost.
For a little bit. And I like
Hi, highlight reel. Jay's feeling so much better. He'll be back soon, guys. He went to return his mouse to SJP.
It's a tough choice though, because I don't think Phoenix and Psylocke as the best, 2 heroes that are available isn't necessarily a wrong decision here for the side of Rad either.
Yeah, and they have the damage boost.
They're just
Rad is
falling
going crazy. Right now, excuse me, single dance or if they copy off of the Luna. My fault there. But Naga is going to try to clean this, and they do. That's point 2, folks. We have a serious game here. Can Rad shove it all the way through as they get more time on the clock? Envy going to all of which make sure they reset to their spawn because their whole team on the side of Rad was ready to push them.
I wonder what Envy's comms were. They seem really uncoordinated just now.
I think the biggest thing is that Speedery is being marked right now by Melio, and I love this swap up.
It's just back and forth, back and forth. It's a whole roller coaster of emotions. Yo, I will live. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders.
Marking speedily, maybe a little bit too far there for Trust Me. Ultimate's not even there. Stratus Ultimate's at least not up. Rad. Another pick off by Naga.
Yeah, that was
I sweat each time I walk, but like I got there and I had to wait.
Picked off. A lot of teams will.
Hope you guys didn't miss me. Appreciate their massive raid.
Looking directly at the back line, not allowing them to use those ultimates with the silence there. So tried to make that happen there. Unfortunately, team
thank you.
Brain was prepared, but Cal owning this space. At this point, you hold as high as you can, allowing your team to reset before you do get walled off on that spawn door.
Come on, guys.
Point 3. Notice that they are always capping point first.
I want Envy to win a map, bro. I don't want them to lose like 3-4-0.
That is some more damage out as Envy is using Muff. They see that copy. They are going to walk it right through. Nero ready, Speedery ready, and on the side of Rad, you have 4, so almost 5 for the ult advantage, so this could go Rad's way. Will Envy be able to pull this out, or will Rad push this into OT?
Yeah, nice kite at the very beginning of that fight. I mean, walking away, making sure they disengage that Fate of the Worlds here into the sky. With that song is Melio, waiting for the very last second.
Wow, I think they called out to break that object in front of him in that moment. That was insane.
Yeah, that was clutch.
Nero
I don't even know you could break that up there.
Everybody holding on as Cal's going to spin to win on top of that ultimate, dodging the Psionic as much as possible the last millisecond. Great shield, but no, what a pull there. The shield
no, come on, man. I think Envy was doing a lot better when I wasn't even here. Nice, Cal.
Can Cal clutch up? Will they see more? Out goes the
nice. See, they lost 2 and still brought back the fight. Nice.
Said this game should be ours. 20 seconds left.
Come on, Cal. Come on, Cal. Good shit, Speedery.
Get prepared to. Speedery going to clean up Rajaro. The stagger is real. Can they find one more? Or does Cal fall? Wow, got to like 10% HP.
Yeah, Cal on that Star-Lord has been phenomenal. I think that it's impressive what he's
Jay,
doing.
Did you see the TP stop? I didn't see it, I think.
Going for the portal, they're able to get it off because of that block in case the stun came through.
Yeah, great touch.
Come on, Envy.
Oh,
shit, chat. Envy doesn't have any fucking ults here. Month and Window are going to have to pop off. They have to do it before Naga gets ult, and trust me. Come on, Month. Come on, Window.
Unlikely. Right now, numbers dead even. Rad. Level 1 Crook going to make that copy out. Level 1 Crook going to find one early. On to Speedery now. Window up in the sky.
Level 1 Crook is going to live that right into the fucking shield, bro.
Trust me. Numbers evened out again. Speedery down. Trust me down. Who's going to get more value? We see the dance floor out. We see Cal on the Wolverine now with another switch. Very low.
Nero needs to get his ult. Nero needs to get his ult. Nero needs to get his ult. 71%. Fate has his ult. Oh, no. Melio is just killing everything.
They could do this. Shove this to OT with no time on either side.
Chat.
A 1 minute push. Great work here. Trust me, holding onto that door. We do see the Psionic just to buy some time, and that is enough. 3-3 game.
3-3 the game.
3-3 game.
America, maybe more comfort pick as well, and I think that.
Are you missing? Are you feeling better now? A little bit.
Exactly as I called out Shib earlier on. I don't want to like brag too much, but that switch over to Melio, going back over to that Psylocke, at least having him play that flexible pull. You need to play Psylocke at least at some point. The Wolverine, I think it's a little bit different. Maybe I would like to see if Naga could add that to his hero pool or something, or at least more of that. Or sorry, rather, he did play the Wolverine, so that was smart to have Naga go over to the Wolverine in the Streets phase, and then towards the end swap to Jean Grey yet again because they can deal with Speedery. So once you have that Psylocke back on the board for Melio's side instead of playing Phoenix and having Naga play that hero, it enabled them a lot more. And I think that they're sort of counter swapping based on what you see on the other side for Envy if they have that Groot, depending on if they want to play that Wolverine or not.
Yeah, I think that's why you have to
get out of the scene and give it back to Emily. You're bad luck. You know what? I actually want to test that.
We'll see the OT, and I have no doubt once again, this is where Envy shines, right? It's all about the triple, and they like.
No. It's they kept it in overtime. I just want to see something. I sat down
for a minute and a half,
and they started doing well.
More than what they've got.
Do you want to sit down and take over?
With 0 on the clock, will be reset.
And I sit next to you.
Single minute, folks. Remember that. If there's no time on the clock, you are.
So you want Envy to lose.
Minute. Now it's all about who finds the most success with these ultimates. If you lose your first fight, you cannot overcommit or the game will be lost.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if either of these teams on the attack can find that momentum. Rad will be on defense first, having Trust Me back over to the Captain America. Melio over to the Psylocke. Naga going to be on Phoenix as well. And for Envy, they have to know the situation they're on and playing that triple Vanguard or triple Strategist as well to make sure they can counter Melio. That's definitely smart.
Wait, this is the second game in a row that they just got the Phoenix and
there you go.
Human Torch banned. Why are they not saving either one of them? It makes no sense.
I love it. On the Ultron, so many
it makes
switches
no
here.
sense.
Month is going to be, that's that damage boost composition. So now they've completely changed it up on attack. They want to take them by surprise and mess with their compositional defense, right? So now they're used to what they've been going against this whole map. Switching up everything is going to mess with the Brain Bajaro. Nice pull there. Cal still putting pressure on, but not overcommitting. Just trying to get that ult as fast as humanly possible with the damage boost. We see a drop back here from Window, using that cooldown to escape, as we talked about. Good sleep there on a level 1, or excuse me, on a Trust Me. Die back from Speedery. No one following. Everyone playing hyper defensively. Very smart, very safe, and instead, just trying to ensure they can get these ults and have an ult fight. If you fall early, you are in trouble, and as we say that, very low here, but good escape again by Window. Cal trying to find an effort off on the right side angle. Damage boost on top of Cal. Shield goes out for Trust Me.
Come on, Envy.
Cal out of the sky with Melio, and they do. Trust Me now on a Nero. Window gonna find Naga. Melio and Fate, though, with a 2-piece. Now at this point, they've got to get back here quickly. It may be the danger zone, but that's not a horrendous push, folks. But it is not game-winning push, if you will.
I mean,
I don't think he can get the TP down.
No. See, that's the problem with playing triple strategist, man, is that
still winnable, chat.
They knew the situation.
They have a minute.
I mean, they played it so smart.
They have a minute.
Played for ultimates, right? We saw how much damage that Envy was doing.
I think the triple support was actually bad in overtime because then you're splitting all the heals with 3 people instead of 2, and I think if you played with 2 of the supports, would have probably had ult, and then you probably just win that. I don't know, but I'm not a coach.
But right now, I feel like the difficulty is, if you're playing for that composition, especially triple strategist, first of all, you're stealing from each other's ult charge.
Yep,
right?
He just said it. He just said it. I should be the caster, chat. No,
you're not going to be able to get his ult charge or your ultimates as fast. And Rad, understanding the situation they're in, want to play it slow, play for one fight, just win it. And that's why they built up their strategy ultimates first. Just go in with level 1 Crook, commit the Eternal Bond after the copy onto Fate, and then they were just able to win off of that because Envy was too busy trying to build up their own ultimates and sort of fighting against each other. Charge and. Maybe they could find a pickoff.
Come on, man. Envy, don't go down 2-0.
Trust me with Melio. I think that combination needs to be spoken about.
If NA doesn't win, I don't even want to go back to NA. I'm staying.
But when your Psylocke is prepared in that moment to combo with you, it was flawless, it was beautiful, and there was no way to react. It was instantaneous, and that was all they needed to push through and sweep the rest. Now, we've got to see what Envy can do on defense. They have held right at the door before, and that portal needs to come in very quickly. That is portalable. You can come back with 2 fights as Envy here. That's why I said it's not a horrendous, game is not over. I would love to see this push into a very close OT as Envy now is on the defense, and out we go again with a snipe. Do we see Widow find one? Not quite yet with
Wait, did they get a Widow snipe last time?
A Punisher against that triple, like you said.
This is what Envy would do, right, in this situation. So I want to see if they can actually make it work, but they...
Yeah, Streamers vs. Deathmatch is already done.
Oh, Cal!
Come on.
Cal telling us during the last tournament was his first time.
Oh, they're doing the triple 3-3. They're doing goats. 3 tanks, 3 supports.
Right there again, Speedery on the height. Now on the Ultron, what do you know, another teammate on the Ultron again, but instead holding right at this door, 26 seconds on. This thing has not moved an inch. Team can't get out of that door at all, and the strategist building as much as possible. This is heavily a strategy that they not only have
appreciate it, Bendick.
For Envy.
Yeah, I mean, these root walls are going to be huge. You have to break them as quickly as possible. With the Punisher, you want to break it a little bit faster for the side of Rad. Brook don't be copied.
Oh, this is huge.
Get it off, he gets stunned.
Up we go with Speedery, using the range of Ultron. Met right back, though, and that is a great, Eternal Bond, as Naga now hiding behind point. Psionic out for Kalush, onto 3, this is huge, and immediately with a Strangling Prison, they are...
Oh my god!
Window!
They did it! They did it!
OT ticking down, will this be the end? Insane combination.
Hold the door! Hold the door! They did it! 1-1, chat. Oh my god. Oh my, I am about to scream without the S. Oh my god. That was good. That was good. Good shit. Good shit.
On that map. It was a huge map pick for Envy. Now we're all tied up 1-1.
Yeah, that was
good
awesome
shit,
to watch. For
chat.
those who are maybe playing Magneto and are more concerned about his damage, there is a combination for those. You know, it'll help you a little bit. Make sure you left-click initially, okay? When you have done that, melee to cancel that animation after it launches, and then while your melee swing is almost finished after it has connected, immediately right-click. That amount of damage, which you actually saw Cal do, didn't even need to utilize that right-click. It is so much damage, and it's so bursty. That is how you get max damage up close with Magneto. Really strong play, but yeah, that pick was huge off the rip.
Well, remember, we interviewed Cal as well. I mean, he was talking about how that was his first time playing Magneto back in Stage 1 when they did that Triple Vanguard
That's so funny.
composition. So, I mean, he's come a long way.
Good
that's
shit.
The biggest reason this team has found success is the whole team's leveled up, and I think Cal has been playing so well in this Ignite mid-season.
Yeah, I think the combination there, we saw Groot, we saw Magneto.
It's not over yet, though, chat. It's not over. That was a very close game. That was a very, very close game. So, I mean, you know,
that is what Groot does best, especially
I don't know. Yo,
triple compositions. It is all about making sure you combine.
How do you say your name?
Brutius?
Appreciate the massive 5 months.
But when you have a combination of something like Magneto,
you know, it's actually really crazy is that I was looking at the bans. I think they are trying to target Cal.
It was.
They are trying to ban Cal's
hero
pool.
This is an incredible game, man. This incredible series. 1-1 Europe versus North America.
He does have a very diverse hero pool, but it depends on what works with the comp that they're running.
And that's
you cannot just run like a random hero that doesn't even fit the comp.
Yeah. Right, 80K is second place, right? So that's massive for the side of Envy if they can close out here. I think
Evino Cat, appreciate the massive 4 months, my friend.
Twitter, that he wants to buy a Rolex.
Brucius.
If they win today. So
that's so funny.
Erratic, appreciate the 100.
That Team Envy has a good chance to win today, but so do Rad. I mean, they're looking a lot better versus Envy today. This is the best they've looked by far. I mean, that was a banger. Very close game, 4-3. Maybe domination is going to be Envy's weakness.
I'm not joking.
Or it could just be they're not that great on Celestial Husk.
Yeah, we're going to see a convergence first. I'm curious where it is going to line up here as we head towards Game 3. 1-1 right now. I know in the past when it comes
grand.
to
Appreciate the massive Prime sub as well, my friend.
So that's,
okay, chat. They're going to yap. I'm going to be very transparent with you guys. They're going to yap for another
so that is another convergence that they can apparently like
45 minutes. So I am going to run the ads now because I wasn't here for a long time. I'm going to run the ads now so you guys don't get in the middle of the game, okay? Okay? Sounds good? They're just going to talk. They're just going to talk. None of the players are even sitting. You can see them right there. I'm going to, the score is 1-1.
Maybe that low-key protection.
Or you could jump in Amazon Prime. With Amazon Prime, you can sub for the streamer for every 30 days.
Cloak and Dagger's still really good, but obviously, I think Trust Me loves to play that character. I think we're sort of learning the very, very hyper-specifics of this patch, of this meta in the Ignite mid-season, and it's incredibly hard to maybe play certain heroes. You give up one thing, you get another, but like the certain characters that are played right now in terms of playing that Psylocke, playing it with that Luna Snow enables her a lot more on that map, as well as the hyper-specifics, these sort of micro decisions.
We have a lot of drinks.
The team makes it at a sort of macro level, I suppose, that can change the dynamic of the game.
Oh wait, we got lunch already?
To watch that, right? Like that's what I love about. Well, we can talk about this.
Yo, Brox, appreciate the massive 2 gifted subs, my friend.
Such frequent patches. The devs are incredible. They're always watching and listening. I think we have, like you said, learned the real intricacies of this patch. These insane compositions, even like the Jeff Jeff composition, which is finding a ton of success in this tournament. And I know a lot of Jeff mains are stoked about that and telling everybody in ladder about that. I think, yeah, things are very intricate, but that changes as of a few days ago, which we are obviously not playing on that patch. But how crazy is that?
God damn it! I just got gifted a sub, so I have to sit here watching you instead of enjoying the ads. What the hell?
Are you joking?
Ship, this is where I think that in this matchup, I think it's if you're mirroring, I feel like it's a lot more important to look at stats, right? In this mirror specifically, it's easier for us, I think, as viewers to notice, like, okay, who is the better player? Because we just have a straight up head-to-head. I mean, we want to take maybe take Speedery, comparing him on the opposite side to Melio because they play similar heroes.
CVDZ, appreciate a massive prime sub as well, my friend.
Hits though because Speedery was able to play so much Psylocke throughout the entire map.
I took some B-roll when I was over there, by the way.
That's a great call out. Obviously, Cal, the funny thing to mention, if we're talking another duelist, you talk about all the different heroes.
We're going to look at the stats real quick, chat.
We saw Wolverine. We saw Star-Lord. We saw...
Cal popped off. Good shape, Cal. Kaluge had 42,000 damage. Speedery had 40,000 damage. Window had 37,000 damage. That's wild.
Wild, but Nero, another one of those heroes that can, or another one of those players, excuse me, that can run Ultron as a hero. A duelist converted into a strategist, fits right into that.
Absolutely, and this is the problem, I think, with that, with the ban
like
system for the side of
vegetables,
Rad. I mean,
more vegetables, quail eggs,
and you're letting
and then what is that?
Yeah, I mean, we look back at those stats again. I mean, it was just too much value that Luna Stone found. I mean, he was able to heal constantly because of the snowflake onto the Psylocke, making sure that they win the Psylocke duels. That's maybe why Melio didn't even want to take the Psylocke matchup too much, because you're going against a Psylocke that has the Luna Snowflake the whole time. So there's so many resources being pumped into Speedery, and it's because of somebody like Nero who got Luna Snow in that ban pick phase.
Yeah, there's a lot of great cooldowns.
Why is your camera so small? Oh, I was letting you guys look at the stats. We talked
about Crystal being especially impactful in the duelist duels, and we'll mention that once more. That Crystal allows that off-angle 1v1s to go heavily in the favor of the Luna side, and Envy really played off that as they did ban Luna for Rad. Wow, great plays
I'm gonna eat lunch
I
with
like
you guys.
that start there. Those
well, not lunch with you guys because it's like 3 a.m. for you guys. But
right, yeah, Cal was on Bucky because Jean Grey got banned, because that was another priority ban of Rad. And I think these are fine bans in a vacuum, and it's tough because I kind of do agree with Trust Me, the fact that you have to make map-specific bans. I think it's definitely the play. However, I mean, I would argue on this map, I don't know if I really value Loki as much as playing a Luna Snow, for example, right? That was kind of...
Jay, can you demon Rin and mod me instead, because Rin is only cosmetic anyways?
Still, because Loki can't do well on that map, but once we enter the Streets phase, the second phase of the map, once we enter that third phase on defense, it's harder for that Loki to really position correctly. And for Luna Snow, I think you just get so much healing downrange, and you have obviously one of the best ultimates in the game.
I'll give you mod.
I think what we saw out of
the day I become a king or a
eliminated in terms of OUG with, I believe, is Zhao Zhang,
which is never going to happen.
Of the side of OUG. They would do so many like sneak copy plays. Remember that? They would go invisible.
Utilize that invis.
Yeah, they would copy Luna Snow. And I think that's the biggest thing that we missed out on the opposite side. There was no copies of Luna Snow on the opposite side for Rad. And
not as much, for
sure. Would like to see that maybe be like the next evolution for them, right? Go invisible, go for the copy in the Luna Snow. It's harder versus these good teams who are constantly spamming for Lokis that are invisible if they do go for that copy. But, I mean, you don't want to copy Cloak and Dagger when Luna Snow's available.
Yeah, and when Magneto's in, it's much more difficult, especially if it's not matched on the opposition. But I'm with you. I think that needs to be a called-out play, though, correct? Because it does require your team to play slow. Yeah, and that's something that, the teams are working on, and they're still developing as we find out new counters to different strategists and new ways to take them out of their ultimate, including things like Blade now, which may have impact in these future patches. Obviously, Blade, for those who do not know, not in
current score 1-1
patch of this tournament, but make sure you keep that in mind, that anti-heal will change things.
We are 2 patches ago, right? From the current patch.
Sure. Yeah, we recently, the way to think of this is the Wolverine reduced patch.
Right, yes, and exactly that was, a little bit for obviously the viewers at home, but because we want to make sure competitive integrity is here, we want to make sure that the players have a fair and balanced sort of environment, and things aren't constantly changing on them, and that's why we play on like a tournament client where these guys can, practice over and over again, get at least a little bit more scrim hours on certain heroes.
Yeah, and it's just funny. That is all of the draw. They did end up choosing that, so that is a map that they do like. Rad is going to be playing very aggro, and I think that, to be honest, Envy plays pretty well on this map too. I think their hero pool favors this map as well. So I think both teams have a very similar map that they pull from. They both like Central Park as well. So I'm excited to watch this. I mean, what do you think? What we have noticed, and something I wanted to mention on the last map that I do think hinders the triple is that random
Jay, what's a decent win rate percentage for the game?
To me by Trust Me when he mentioned that maybe Strange 60%. Is worth banning on things like Yggdrasil, where you can spawn trap in, where you can run that triple, or things like Central Park, where you always get Central Park. For those who don't remember, is that map where you do have that initial take. You got to get the point first, and then you walk. Ratatasker, the big squirrel there. If you didn't know that, now you do. You always get that Strange portal back to point. So banning Strange has some validity, and I don't think it's a horrible idea.
No, and I think to maybe add on to that point, that you make a fantastic point, which Trust Me about that, is that I mean,
60%.
These, third ban,
they try to
ban,
get you to 50%.
You always are kind of like, okay, what do we want to ban, right?
Yeah.
Because the first two kind of make sense, usually targeting some of the strongest heroes in the game. Once you enter that third and definitely fourth ban, it's always up for debate, right? You're always thinking, who do we want to ban to make sure that we can take home this trophy?
Oh my! Every time I see it,
it's so beautiful.
I get chills. You know what I mean? Look at that thing. It is beautiful, and it is big. I mean, that is no joke. It's not a small trophy, folks. You will see.
I would know small. That thing ain't small.
We're pretty tall if we're next to each other. You know what I mean?
I would know small.
Trick everyone.
Speaking about huge, Kaluj, one of the biggest men here. Not that really has anything to do with the game. I don't know.
It's a segue. Yeah, it's an aura piece, right?
Erratic Lily. I appreciate the massive prime sub. Why is Jay always eating?
I mean,
because it's 3 o'clock and they brought us lunch.
You got the balance? Dude, one time I wrote a segue in Washington.
Typically, if someone brings you food, you eat it. I don't know if you guys do that. Do you guys do anything different with it?
To say the least, man. I ate Shib there. That was brutal. For sure. Segues are hard to write.
Do you think Blade would be enough for pro play? I think so. He's the first character with anti-healing. I think it's big.
I don't know. It's those old rich kids that lean forward. They're doing the plank, the vertical plank.
Who's been your favorite caster in this tournament? I think they're all doing fantastic.
So we're looking at this team. I don't think that we need to see too much of a change
on the ban side of
almost either team, but what do you think would give them an advantage? I think that was a very just fought battle. It was a well-fought battle. It was anyone's game.
In hindsight, because hindsight, is 2020, I feel like it was still super close. So, like you said, it wasn't any massive mistakes. It just was towards the end. Like, I feel like if we're going to play Loki,
I think Blade's going to be a character that you have to combo probably a lot of ults with. I mean, not a lot of ults. Like, if they pop Luna ult, you pop Blade ult, and then after that, and then you pop another ult, and then you're guaranteed probably a kill.
I have to double check. I mean, I know. Well, we saw Monthfall a few times there, too, from the dive as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think the Loki players right now are not expecting as much damage coming through. Here's that Luna Protect that we see from Rad instead of the Loki. I think that that's kind of what they're changing. I think Loki is
Envy needs to save
good. Don't get me wrong.
Either Envy needs to save one of those DPS characters, bro. They cannot run the whole finals without Torch or
composition. Both teams getting rid of it when they get rid of Adam and stuff as well, considering Cal has been so good.
Phoenix. They have to save it, bro. They're gonna save him across. Okay, GG's chat. They're gonna ban Phoenix.
I don't think Rad played bad against. Like, they did fine. So honestly, fine to get rid of triple on both sides in terms of how these teams are going.
I think you need one of those characters.
Gene Gray getting removed from Rad now.
Yeah, I was seeing the audience mention a lot and ask me the question of, why are they not banning Gene? And you know what? Here's your answer. They are now. In almost every single game here, at least against Envy. So
it's the age-old strategy. They're also removing speedily on Psylocke. So get rid of Cal in terms of Phoenix. Get rid of the speedery Psylocke. It makes sense.
Cal as well on the Warlock, which Cal also plays Warlock. They are heavily attacking the duelists here on these ban phase for the side of Rad and Envy. So going after the strategist a little more so.
If we think about it this way, Speedily can play both Psylocke, play Human Torch at a high level, getting rid of those two, and then like you said, getting rid of Cal and Adam Warlock. So both of those heroes going towards him. So respect towards those 4 players on the opposite side.
I think Rad's bans are a lot better than
getting rid of, I
bans.
believe, was it Magneto, right? Making sure they can't go for bubble plays, making sure that they don't have Rajaro playing his comfort pick, and then also getting rid of Human Torch because that character is disgusting. We've seen how much it can be done via Naga in the sky. Yeah, he does so much on Human Torch, and getting rid of the Loki and Mantis. So priority on strategist is always a staple of Envy.
Agreed. And for those who maybe are confused about the bans, notice they did just switch sides. They will actually make the switch. So now when you look at the screen from now on, the bans will actually be above the team that cannot play those
What's your favorite food in China so far? I have not explored so much because my stomach has. I've been sick for a very long time.
Focusing on both Emma and Luna.
Yeah.
I know Emma.
But everything I've ate so far, whether it be like
patch,
dumplings or anything,
why are they still playing it from your perspective?
Emma is incredibly versatile. Also, that Psionic Seduction ultimate sets up very similarly similarly to something like Root, right? It is a lean-in ultimate that allows your team, and it shuts down strategists prior, which you'll find sometimes a Loki that's copying. If you get that seduction on Loki while copying, it is very difficult to press the Q button.
We saw that on Nero.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It's happened a few times. So, yeah, Emma's just really strong. The laser, incredibly powerful, does also work, and now Charge recently, in a few patches back.
Are they playing on Season 3 or 3.53?
More play. She is a tank buster and a dive brawl destroyer. So just very, very fun. Obviously, a big fan of Emma myself.
We're seeing some Hella again. I mean, we saw this in the 100 Thieves series against Rad, and we saw Delena do a ton. We'll see if Cal can do the same. This map is pretty long range. Maybe Hella's the pick if you can't play Jean Grey, because we talked about those two heroes.
I do like the Hella pick. I do like the Hella pick.
Jean, I'll just play Hella instead. A very similar hero, obviously. Teams are electing to choose Jean far more than Hella now. Up we go. Trust me, playing hyper aggro, using those cooldowns to escape. You can just see the juggling here. The movement is insane, and the animation cancels on Cap are so much fun to watch, but also just terrifying to go against, as Spectated heavily marking now. Ooh, the backline getting destroyed, just decimated there. Nero,
like, I feel like Rad is just running the better characters. I just don't know why they're letting Rad just outban them.
One back, but it is not a strategist, and Cal falls. Rajaro finds Kalush. Naga on the window. The teleport needs to come through.
4 eliminations in that fight for Naga. That portal coming through, like you said, Shib, and it's the strategist. So that means one Cal is going to have to swap back to Cloak and Dagger because they swapped roles and swapped strategist and a Vanguard.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to do that in ladder as well, although it requires a little bit of communication. Stay in comms, folks.
You do that in rank chat, you're going to get flamed.
12 HP, able to escape that. Wild that just happened. Month getting dove upon again. Spectated 1 HP. But what an escape. Bubble goes out, burns that cooldown. Naga finds a 2-piece Melio on now onto Kalush. And that is going to be the point as Rad are looking dominant.
Naga, man. How many eliminations in a row has he gotten? That's like 8 eliminations. Naga given no respect.
I think Envy's going to probably lose if they don't get their ban situated.
So well
I think they're losing in the banning phase, Jack.
Exactly why he can, pop off on that hero. I think it's going to be a scary matchup. Envy now having to swap to Bucky. We'll see how that pans out. But I think how Rad played on domination, and especially on this map, should be pretty solid with the Jean Grey matchup into Bucky. You got to feel confident about that, especially now that you have Spectated over to the Star-Lord instead of on his normal Psylocke. So Rad doing solid here in the ban phase.
And we begin again, and beautiful call out, my friend Cal now over on the Bucky. Gonna find level 1, make that 2.
Oh, by the way, Scott, Regional Master Prime sub.
Cal, trying to find some positioning here. They're gonna burn that, and that should be another ult utilized with not much effectiveness. Cal, make that 3. Why not get 4?
Good shit, Cal. Good shit, Cal. They needed to stop. 4 minutes for this phase, and they got it halfway already, almost.
He wants Envy's strategist, Month and Nero, not given any respect either, but the fact they're able to play both Loki and Luna in that matchup. And level 1 Crook, unfortunately, getting picked off on the backside. It kind of happened previously with both Fate and Crook. This backline on these more payload objective maps, it's a lot harder for them to stay alive.
But I will give some congratulations for them not overcommitting too many ults. Obviously, just using Naga there for the most part. Melio going out with the dance of the Cutterfly. Crystals are going to pop, and down goes Melio. Month with some good patience and understanding. Notice you just got to look towards the center of the circle. You'll see a little circle of where Solid will appear and unable to use anything for a millisecond. Just got to react then.
Thank you.
And they do capitalize off that. Cal, Spectated, excuse me, is going to be playing. Oh, Naga is on one right now with another pick. Naga going to try to retreat, is going to find an open available just piece of that building as it is destroyed. And trust me, with ult up, going to try to chase down Naga and allow that initiation with some extra HP.
Yeah, and they're constantly changing it up. I mean, you can't even take out Naga because he has the self-heal on Jean Grey on top of the Snowflake. So they've rotated that Snowflake over to him. He's able to live. Delays come through from Window. That was a late and kind of strange. And also, the Legendary from Spectated. Are they going to change composition? Window's over. Okay, Window's going over to Spectated's going over the Iron Fist. That makes sense.
What are they doing, chat?
Yeah,
what are they doing?
Those mistakes, especially at that scale, won't happen. So, when that many people are overcommitting, so definitely a decision to switch compositions and not just worry too much about that ult usage and just hope a miracle happened with those initial ultimates. Out we go now.
What are they doing, chat?
Mario got very low, but Cal trying to hold this off angle. Notice the HP not going anywhere as Cal is using a ton of those cooldowns to just get that additional HP. Patient here we go as Phoenix from Naga lands. Does not get too much value, does burn some of those walls. The Window patient on those walls, putting the new ones down. Trust me, gonna break a few and now head towards the back line. And the off-angle push gets stuck though. Does Trust Me pay for it? No, they do not. Now right on to the strategist.
Well, here's the dive from Spectated onto Naga. Oh no, goes down, but Cook takes down Spectated on the backside. They're still delaying. Month has a lot of pressure from both Trust Me and Melio. No greens here. How are they still alive?
Wow, those supports, Narrow and Month, absolutely fucking insane. Good heals. Wow, good shit by Cal as well.
Bang, crack an impact. Can they they collapse? Will they get more? Not quite yet. They've got to put a ton of damage out, but the dance floor is there to match, and they will not be able to find that reset. But the team is walking backwards now, coming right back with Trust Me leading that path. Remember, you got to follow your cap if you want that additional.
I can't even eat right now, chat, because I'm watching.
Fate falls from Kaluj. Trust Me directly onto the strategist. Patty caking. Level 1 Crook on a Kaluj again.
They got Fate, though. That's huge. That's huge. They only have a solo heal. And Fate was really close to ult, too. Come on, you have to get the kills now. You have to get the kills. They only have one healer. Nice.
They are going to walk them back. Well done on the defense of Envy.
What an extended hold. I mean, another benefit of both having Iron Fist is that, a lot of people complain about this hero is that, the damage isn't necessarily the highest at points. But
I don't think insulting my mod is probably going to do, I don't know what that guy was doing anyways.
Objective as long as he wants to, sort of like a pseudo tank.
I think the worst thing you could probably do is come to a Twitch chat and insult a mod.
We've seen so many incredible plays out of both Month and Nero. This seems to me like the best backline of the game.
And Speedery on the block. Rajaro now using that ultimate, trying to make sure they can get the initiation. Great utilization of the walls there from Groot. Was not going to allow the back line to fall. Melio tries to get on high, does manage to do so. Rajaro going to see how they are charging up right there on those walls. But the space is taken now. Right back as Kaluj is at 75. Once you get to 100, your laser will actually deal double damage. Fate, though, onto Kaluj. Speedery having to retreat, waiting for the team. And Naga is going to burn some of these. Fate now onto Speedery. Window is out, and the team is falling as Rad is getting point 2.
Yep, and I think that they're getting value out of just
all
having
right,
this.
You know what?
I mean, we've seen how many times, Shib, have we
That's
seen
fine.
Crook
Envy held that for like 3 minutes.
Now in that middle phase of
and they're coming back with almost all 6 ults.
They
got
Rad
this.
actually have a solid time to work with here.
Okay, and now
they can't. They have like about 2 fights here, unless that fight is a very long one.
That is going to be very impactful when the team only has 1 point left. Envy will have the strategist line of Nero and Month not quite there yet to copy up and use ults. Kaluj going to start off with the Psionic, does manage to follow up onto level 1 Crook. Speedery directly now onto the cap, just punching away. And Fate, Speedery looking different here on Iron Fist, and that is what you want to see when Iron Fist right now is getting a bad rap, but I do think Fist, especially when you have a Luna, is strong, and Fist can be dangerous in a player's hand like Speedery.
Yeah, it can be for sure, and for Rad's side is Melio pops that Dance with the Butterflies, trying to commit onto the Month, and they're able to take him down with a dive. Huge pickoff from Melio.
Nero, though, turning it right back into Melio and says, not in my house, not my strategist. Again, onto the front line of Crook. And now front line, because Crook is playing up, but did have ultimate, and that is exactly why. Switching over to damage boost to try to collapse, trying to make the team make a play. Speedery forcing out that ultimate is good, but did have to use theirs as well. Now, Cal going to try to get a yoink onto the front line. And does not. Naga keeping the pressure up. Remember, when you come up with a strategist ultimate, you can melee for days on the Phoenix and deal a ton of damage and apply passive to everyone getting that ult incredibly quickly. Trust me, gonna walk them in, and that's one of those cooldowns that allow you to melee like this, as you see Naga meleeing forever. Now switching over to range, trying to pop some of those passives. Great shield again by Window, doing an incredible job of stuffing that Psionic Seduction. But as I
trading
say,
a DPS ult for a support ult is always a good thing.
Kind of played it slow. Melio's
but
yeah,
Envy has no ults, chat.
This Naga from the sky as well.
This might be a G.
Right now, still controlling that objective. Envy's going to have to go for the respawn.
I mean, Brad doesn't have any ults right now as well, but
12-second spawn window.
Crook onto Speedery with a bit of a stagger here. 2 seconds for Kaluj, but 5 for Speedery.
You could hear one of the people adjusting their mic.
Very much going to be important here. Onto Trust Me, who will be all over those strategists on the final point. And when it's this close and this hectic, that much distraction means point. And it is scary, but we do have an ultimate here from Melio, which could stuff everybody into a corner. Cal trying to find Trust Me, get tackled into that corner like I had talked about. Melio with a 3-piece walking them in. Is this going to be it now? They are holding for days. Window hoping they can dance. Trust Me now on a Speedery with the block. Great patience to wait out those attacks, and that is enough as Rad. It's all 3 points.
And Melio's an absolute star. He'd like to call. Trust me,
them capping all
was there to save him with that
3
last
points.
Stand. And this guy, really, we can't talk about him
scares
enough.
me for Envy.
Shine for the side of Rad. People talk about how Envy has the best duelist in the game. At times, I would maybe disagree because Melio has that flexibility that Speedery does, and pretty much at the same level that he plays as well. So I think he's just such a good player for this team for Rad. Definitely doesn't get talked about enough, and we'll keep talking about him, obviously, if he does stuff like that.
I mean, could you have written this more perfectly? We are 1-1, folks. Rad with a hard-fought overtime battle gets point
I don't
3.
understand.
Will we see Envy push this to OT once?
I need to know their thought process when they're banning characters, and they're just leaving in the strong characters.
And I know that I was talking to you about this earlier, Shiv. The crowd is rooting for Team Envy out of all people. I think well, they just want good Marvel rivals. I think that's the biggest thing.
Wait, really? They're rooting for Team Envy?
A lot of guests as well. A lot of fans coming through, coming to the studio to watch the games as well. A lot of NetEase developers and stuff. So everybody here wants to see just some good Marvel rivals, right? That's what we're here for at the end of the day. And man, we are seeing that in spades.
I'm having so much fun here with you, brother, as we push into Envy on the attack. The composition going to be showing window on that Venom. Cal maintaining the presence on the Bucky, and there's not much change outside of that, but I am looking forward to seeing how this changes. Trust Me right now has been a problem with Melio on that back line, and they need to find a solution that works.
The guy named Trust Me, you got to trust him considering they're in the finals.
It really is. I mean, that
guy's really good on tank.
Phenomenal, and Rad are kind of doing exactly what I feel like they should be doing, right? Making those swaps last second, keeping Naga as well on Phoenix is always a solid play. Melio's having to kind of flex over to different things. Just the only difficulty is when they have to play that Wolverine, but Melio, it seems like he's kind of not lost a step.
Okay, I'm not a coach or anything here, chat, but I think in order to Envy to win this, I think they need to kill them before they get killed. Because if you kill them, they'll die. Oh, see, they're not taking my. They're not taking my strat.
Instantly for the side of Envy as Rad is showing up whenever they need to.
Yeah, I think this is the scary part. Is
like what a lot of teams need to realize, and like I said, I'm not a professional or anything, but like if you win, they lose.
Naga, same thing. Jean Grey really pops off here, especially on these first points with these long ranges. That's the tough part about Bucky is I feel like in these neutral trades, Bucky does do a lot, but Jean Grey as well to shut down divers a little bit more effectively at points.
And let the games begin.
What if they draw? That's a great question.
That's one up for the side of Envy. They will use that pressure to walk in here, but the ult gets traced right back from Rad. Month finds Fate though, post ult, and they are collapsing.
Nice,
they get
nice.
2. Do I hear 3? Waiting it out for Melio. Melio, great understanding of what was happening there, dropping back Cal.
He should have not done that.
He should
have went for the cap.
Now goes down. Then
I think the cap would have been better.
Notice how they are turning that portal around, using it as a wall. Do this in ranked. It does help your team. And kicked right back into the door.
No way, they're body blocking it. Oh, they went on the other side of the portal. No. So close to cap.
Is he going to find anyone? Yes, he does find Trust Me and a few more. And that's a great play, but unfortunately the dance floor is out. Not going to make too much value, but it did make the strategist ult be utilized. Trust Me now.
Wait, this is actually really good. They use Assemble, but I think they double support
freedom charge, bringing freedom to his team and walking right through the lines of Envy.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. I think they're taking this. They're taking this. Good shit, Speedery.
Able to take down 3, just kicks
nice. I was about to say, I don't understand the Iron Fist pick 100%, but Speedery beating them.
Behind the scenes as well for Speedery.
Big plays.
He makes plays. He's a huge player. He's so good at the game, but
good
also
Speedery's
half Chinese. So now that we're in Guangzhou, China, he has a lot of the fans behind him because there's no more teams left, obviously, in Nova and OUG. So Speedery's definitely a fan favorite, obviously because he's a fantastic player and personality, but because, you know, it's relatable. You always want to root for people from your same country.
Absolutely, absolutely. We start the next fight now. Window with an early initiation. Cal just going to hold back and wait for that cap. Speedery going to go back and do the same thing after that initiation from Window. Just buying space is all they're looking for. There's that off angle again from Melio. And dunked on from
nice job,
from
Window.
Downtown Naga. Going to find Kaluj now. And they're keeping the presence. Level 1 Crook with a great freeze.
Good shit, Speedery.
Extra health there. That was a recent buff too to Luna that I do think is very impactful, giving you a little more
nice, Cal.
Get that freeze as Cal finds Naga. Window now onto level 1 Crook.
Nice.
Down as they are walking them with this momentum with 3 minutes and 20
this spot right here where they're fighting is going to be the hardest to take.
On the opposite side for level 1 Crook, he walked the opposite
Would
side.
Iron Fist be good pick against Cap? I think so.
Maybe take a fight on that off angle, but
especially with Iron Fist, he just got buffed. I mean, because he lost his.
Oh,
what a fucking hook!
Goodness, oh, good out there. Cal forcing that cooldown is big as Kraken Impact's ready, and you can actually utilize that short wall there in the opening to make your Kraken Impact even faster. If you collide with a ceiling, you can launch it quicker. And great, they broke that whole wall first. That was a smart decision through it as Speedery now getting some of that over health and ready to engage with ultimate. Coming in now, Iron Fist. Let me see the chi. And yes, onto the back line. Very low goes Luna, just misses the
my
kick.
God.
He comes back with it, so it does work out.
Pretty
Cal
sure.
with
Nice!
Another collusion. And Speedery, the team is falling. Envy will get point 2.
What an
nice.
This is the aspect of Envy that's so
I'm really surprised Iron Fist is working.
They always take advantage of the.
But then again, I'm a streamer. They're the pro.
Play them, right? That's why it was weird to see them play a little bit slower. Now, like you called, Chib, you talked about it, man. Why were we not seeing window on Venom earlier? This feels so clean.
Yeah, I think this is really working out for them. I think the biggest struggle that we've had on the side of Envy is, do we peel or do we push? And now, when you're matching it, the enemy is dealing with the same issue, and it is very much working for them.
Oh,
with the ball on the Melio!
Dude!
Onto Trust Me, and both of those picks are
Cal looks like
invaluable
my
as they
fucking
turn
Bucky against the
first
devs.
quarter on point 3 with 3 minutes and 20 on the clock.
Come on,
Cal
I need them
so
with the cap.
good, man. I mean, obviously with the Luna
I need him to
Snowflake
cap with
on
more
the
than a
side
minute.
of the Psylocke, when you use that Emma team up, you connect, you split into 2 Psylocks, right?
Yeah.
But the correct Psylocke is the one with the Luna Snowflake. Cal picked the right one, and then he hooked him in. Doesn't matter how much healing you get there, you're going to go down to Bucky.
Big brain call out. Take that into ladder, folks, as Cal now holding on a point. Trust me, utilizing that freedom charge a little early, but needed to do so to get the team back in this fight. Right onto the back line they go. Nero is going to escape there, just barely. Smart play with the back line.
Captain America
against frozen, blocks it up, tries to get some more value again. Onto the strategist, forces out cooldowns. Well played. Cancel the butterfly out now for Melio. Not too much value. The Psionic is out, trying to help with the back line right onto Cap now. And now End Song is launched, none of which gets a pick just yet, as the teams are holding on in Envy now.
They all got the pick though.
Ready to make this play happen on the next fight.
I
Naga
think
finds Cal though.
They have
looking
those
for
supports.
a few more, but still, they at this point need to stagger or reset together.
This is a weird angle though, I think, for this Phoenix ship. I mean, it's been a hard spot. Yeah, they're committing.
Yeah, I don't know if we will see Cal come back with Strange early. I don't think it's worth it just yet, because Cal.
Nice, Speedery! Got the. That's huge.
Level 1 Crook now up in numbers 5 to 6 as Cal returns. Speedery.
Oh no, he needed to win that 1v1.
Not enough. Naga gonna find Speedery. Melio on a Nero.
No, they lost that fight.
And they
they're not winning this fight. They're not winning this fight. They just gotta die.
2 minutes left on the clock. I mean, I don't know how they did it, just through sheer mechanical skill of Melio and Naga. I mean,
that was a 1v1 that you gotta win.
They're all healthy. Overcommitment towards the spawn doors, maybe a little overzealous, resulted in Speedery going down. But that's how you have to play an Iron Fist. It's such a committable character that you have to commit, and you know, to get those final hits. Sometimes you use that versatility in terms of the mobility to get away. On the backside, Melio's in the 1v1. Both players using their cooldowns, and you know, both tanks also matching to save their duelist.
Yeah, I think the issue was overcommitment in terms of ults after Cal got KO'd. Cal was ready with Kraken Impact, and it would have gone so hard with something like a damage boost. And instead, once Cal went down, the team just
nice hook.
Nice pull again on Amelia.
Yeah!
The team commits on the pull. Cal
good
ready with
fucking
Kraken
shit,
Impact.
Cal.
This could be game winning, or at least point winning, as they go to OT. Out we go again. How many times will they have Trust Me's freedom charge? It is always available. And up we go with the End Song Inferno, waiting out time. Out goes the strategist ultimate now. Gets stuck by the ceiling, unfortunate, or burn. Excuse me, by the side of Envy now, waiting into this Kraken Impact, counting out the strategist line, and once that ends, we will see him up in the sky window. Nero ready with Kaluj, and here's the setup ultimate of the Sonic out for Rajaro. Will it be matched? Cal goes down, so holding on to that.
This is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad.
They need to touch.
They're down 2.
They have the time, but
they're down 3.
Trying to continue as Speedery gets 1.
Oh, no.
Speedery now ulting. That's a second! But will they be able to keep doing this? They keep using ults as the team goes down. They're trying to win these fights. I don't know if they're worth it. They will stagger now.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not good, chat. This is not good. This is not good. This is not good. I don't know if they should. I don't know if they should have committed ult there. They should have waited. But Rad has no ult. They need to kill Trust Me, because that ult's gonna be huge.
And the answer is right now.
And Window and Cal gotta pop off. Dive the same person. Do something. I need them to win.
Insane
if Envy wins this, I'll take my shirt off.
That would be wild, and now they do get the touch. Cal goes down early, unfortunate with the Kraken Impact utilized. They are going to try to make something happen. Very low on the left side is Melio. Trust me, again with the freedom charge. Are you joking? Nearly every fight. Naga ready with the End Song Inferno. They cannot stop this team. Rad is on a roll. Melio gets 2. Out goes another ult here. Fate with Window,
going up
and
2.
that should do it on the defense as Rad shuts down Envy before point 3.
Good shit, Rad.
Huge map win for Rad. 2-1 now in the series to go up against Envy, their nightmare, their nemesis, whatever you want to call it. 2 North American teams that are not here. Right now, Rad are looking like they are a brand new roster today. They are playing at such a high level ship.
Rad needs
and
to.
I don't know, man. This team is scary. It's
not Rad.
Unfortunate aspects. It was
it's
so,
not GG's yet, Chad. I mean, that was a good game,
incredibly
but
scrappy towards the very end.
Yeah. First one to four. First one to war.
And
but
honestly, that's how you want to play if you're the side.
I think
of
Envy needs to work on their bans.
How Naga was playing. I mean, he's been playing so well.
Phoenix, you can't let Phoenix
that's
and
a tough aspect when you have the Bucky, dude.
Yeah.
When you play that character instead of Jean Grey, it's always going to be a tough situation because of how much you could do on Phoenix compared to Bucky.
Yeah, I think the issue there was it was a multitude of times that the team overcommitted ults after losing bodies, and there was time on the clock. It's all about one.
I mean, they're really close games. Don't get me wrong, but Rad did their homework, bro. I don't know who the coach for Rad is, but
I mean, like,
does everyone know who the coach for Rad is?
Yeah, don't we all? Right now, like, he just has to full commit, right? And that's the unfortunate aspect of Iron Fist is in the previous patches of the game, when Iron Fist did a ton of damage, you can full commit. You can commit on the back line like that. Not these days. You don't just do enough damage. TGK-wise, time to eliminate-wise, right now that Phoenix just can do so much. And I think this goes back to the ban phase, is that there was not enough respect given to Naga in that end of the map. You saw how much he did as well on the attack. I think that's my MVP personally because of how he played. The back line was doing so much of Envy. I think if they won that was because of how good the strategist line is of Envy. But towards the very end, Naga, and you called it earlier, Melio, alongside Trust Me, doing so much. He had to hard commit towards the spawn, and unfortunately he could just not. He did not find enough picks. He cannot get multi-eliminations similar to what he did earlier, like Naga did. I think Naga was just kind of popping off a little bit more.
Yeah, I just think, I agree with all that, but I do think the alt utilization at the end from Envy was horrendous. It was panic. It was after they were losing a fight. They never reset as a team. Instead, it was staggering ultimates, never allowing them to come back in cohesive. Like, they could never combine an ultimate towards the end. Even through the portal, all we had left was Feast. There was no strategy lines on the side of Envy, and they were ready to try to come up with Kraken, with Feast and Kraken together, and immediately Cal gets dropped. Feast gets no value, has to go back and touch with Feast because no one's on point. It's just
if we
go see that happened 3 fights in a row. And
if we go see the Rad side, we'll see if Skyza is sitting in the back, it probably means they're a coach.
While still being scrappy.
Because if you look right here, my face game's probably blocking it. My face game blocking it right here. If you look right here, this person is
because of how many ults they were committed, so
what do you call it, Envy's coach.
Right, that's the point you were making, and I think that's a great one because
they
had what 2.5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes in third phase, and they lost all of that because of, like you said, with Stagger. And now Shib heading to this next map. I mean, I wonder what you pick, because we saw on the previous map that Envy won on Aegis Path. That was so close. This one was also that close, but it's a game of inches. And right now, Rad seemed to be winning it for Envy's side. We're going back to domination, Shib. If you take a look at what you were talking about, when you think about Envy, which domination map do you think they're going to go to next? Is it going to be a map like Hell's Heaven, or what are you thinking that is in their pocket?
Hell's Heaven leads towards flyer compositions, and I think that will help Envy, at least on certain maps of Hell's Heaven. So I'm not sure. I think we head over. I don't know, maybe to Wakanda. We get some love there. That is a dive. It has dive potential. I think it's a little more open, but we haven't seen a ton of that in this tournament. I think teams just don't like to play that map for whatever reason. I think it's another one of the Wakanda maps. I think Hall of Dahlia is the convergence map.
Burn there we go.
Yeah, Burn to T'Challa. There it is.
One maps I get wrong all the time.
It's
like thinking like Central Park, Midtown, you know, those things.
It happens.
Isn't Rad coach as a player? I don't know.
No, but maybe Burnin. I think it has potential, but then again, like I said, very seldom picked. I think we saw one time in this tournament.
Well, who would that favor if we do go to that map? Let's go talk about each map, maybe like the maps left, maybe the ones that are in the map pool. Like you said, we'll start there. Okay. Burn to T'Challa. If you think about it, in terms of what we've seen, who do you think was on the map? I mean, Phoenix pops off on certain rounds. Like
I think Phoenix is great on Hell's Heaven as
well. Okay, right. So
and they've been getting away with getting Phoenix every time.
So let's talk about Burn to T'Challa though. Like, who do you think wins on Burn to T'Challa?
Is there a bag for trash?
Rad or Envy? Who would you favor in that situation?
Good call. I do think Envy would likely win on that map, but then again, it's also what they have had success with scrimming, right? So it's like, do I think their standard composition that they've been running succeeds there? Yes, but as a team, do they succeed there? I'm not sure. I do think we see some decent, like, more pokey stacked compositions.
Zero sexy. Appreciate massive 11 months.
Maps of Hell's Heaven, so it's really about what they found success with. So.
Hell's Heaven, what do you think? Envy, Rad? What do you think on that
Boho Jojo. Appreciate massive prime sub as well.
I would say
depends on the bands and.
Yeah, well, it depends on the bands, but we'll have. I mean, let's honestly, we'll have that. Let's take a guess as we see bands, right?
Okay.
If it does go to Hell's Heaven, which I do think we will see. So Cal, look at that, 12 finals, played really strong there on the Bucky. I do think was finding a ton of success, but just not able to do much at the very end. Window and Kaluj both with 7. But then you look over at Rad, 17 from Melio and 19 on Naga. They were lights out together.
Yeah, and if you look over at the healing department as well, on the opposite side, I really feel it felt to me like the backline of Envy was doing so much, and I think just numbers-wise, we're seeing that out of Month and Nero. I mean, you see slightly more numbers in terms of healing department for both Month and Nero in combination, right? Obviously connecting together for, I believe, 100,000 healing, and on the opposite side for Fate and Level 1 Crook, we got nearly, what is that, 85,000, I believe. So, wait, am I doing math correctly here? I am, right? That is what about the numbers it is.
Yeah.
Not a math guy, more of a
You nailed that. Yeah.
But regardless, I think that the backline of Envy was doing so much on the map, and I think Rad does have strong strategist players. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of how that map happened, there we go. Speaking of a strong strategist player, Crook was doing so much on Luna Snow multiple times. That adaptation to put Luna Snow in the game instead of Loki, I think it makes a lot of sense, right? Yeah, but on the opposite, it's tough because you do give up the Loki, right, on the opposite side.
Sorry,
because
chat
you're
was blowing
banning
my
out
nose.
Duelist, you're banning out Jean Grey, you're banning out a lot of Speederys, Hero Pool, same thing with Cal. You're ignoring the back line. But
do Rad need to reset the bracket, or is that not how it works in Rivals?
Across the board, even if you're taking a slightly weaker one or a slightly weaker overall, as long as you get that Luna Snow,
what does it mean to reset the bracket?
Because they had the Psylocke in the last map, it's almost like they were at a net
negative.
Thank you.
Because
they never had that Snowflake to either give to Naga or over to Melio.
Agreed. I think
this is the grand finals, yes, chat. Winner takes all. Winner takes 160,000. Second place gets 80,000.
Consistent healing from where you can really shine with that melee playstyle and getting your ult incredibly quickly. But then the damage boost combination, I think it's one of those combos that
160,000.
Sweep a back line, and you can get that ult insanely quickly.
And sorry to cut you off.
Not a bad day
like,
for a few days of work,
when
right?
I think about Loki as well, there's some teams that are really good against playing against Loki, right?
Sure.
I think across the board earlier on in the tournament.
Wait, this is the grand finals. Like tourney's fine after the tournament is finished after this, yes. And then you gotta wait till the next one.
Some teams struggle a lot versus Loki. You were talking about rock paper scissors.
That's a great question.
I think Loki is a big part of that rock paper scissors battle because some teams just struggle against Loki. They have no way to shut that character down if they don't have a good enough team grade player.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think G, like you said, obviously helps with that and just raw poke.
It's like Moon Knight almost, right? Yeah, because when you explode one, it hits in an AoE.
Yeah.
Before the grand finals,
it's essentially like having another
chat, this is the grand finals, but before the grand finals, you need
and that's why half the highlight reel is Naga.
Yeah.
That's the mid-season. Yeah. By the way, just as you know, when you this is $1 million right here.
I think you're right.
The next one, this is the mid-season, which is 500,000. The finals is $1 million.
They're never letting Phoenix through for Envy. Why not match that and use that to your advantage? Try to find them, force them into something else, and see who can play with that deeper hero pool more successfully.
Yep, absolutely. And I want to see if they change these things up and they maybe adapt to that ban system in the next phase of the game. Because man, that was only map 3 in this best out of 7. We're in for a barn burner of a series, it seems like, for now. And it's been
look, I'm on the page. Team streamers, J3. Wait, do I have a Liquipedia? J3 no longer exists.
We always talk about that, but it's been really just like right there every single time at the very end. The game of inches has never been more real.
Yeah. I mean, these have been battles, and that's all I want to see. I want this final to go the distance. Selfishly, obviously, I did pick Envy off the rip for my pick of the tournament, and them getting this far and going through that side of the bracket has been fun to watch, but I'm loving watching Rad as well, and we will see more of these two teams.
Yeah, right here. So I have to find this. This is stage 1. Oh, is there a break?
We are Team Envy.
Okay, nice. I can talk to you guys. There's a little break right here, so we can try to figure this out, chat. So this is what we just watched. Okay, so yeah. This is how it works, chat. This is how it works. So right here, there's stage 1. That's what we looked at right now. Stage 1, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. We're here. So now we're at the mid-season finals. After the mid-season finals, stage 2 happens, and that's where we're going to get all the next teams for the grand finals, which is the $1 million one. What's happening for stage 2? I have no idea.
That just makes them feel more comfortable and more confident in themselves, which is very important when it comes to winning matches.
And if you guys look right here, wait, this is this one. But if you go to the grand finals, so let's go back to chat. Let's go to the grand finals. If you go to the grand finals, Grand Finals is going to be a total, I think, of 20 teams. Because you have 4 from America.
My team, of course.
Wait, it doesn't matter if you win the midseason finals. You don't automatically get put into the Americas. Wow. So you have 4 America teams. You have 4 EMEA teams. You have 4 Asia... 3 Asia teams, 3 China teams, and 2 Oceania. Yeah.
200 Thieves, the belt's coming out.
4 Americas, 4 EMEA, 3 Asia, 3 China, and 2 Oceania. Yep.
Shout out my family. I know they're watching back home, and shout out my grandpa for being the best supporter. Shout out to my mom and dad. They've been supportive of me this whole time. I love you, Mom and Dad. Thanks for supporting me. Hello, we are Rad.
I'm level 1 crook, and I...
EMEA is Europe, yes. EMEA means Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
Hello, I'm Trust Me. I specialize in Captain America, Venom...
Yes, Mugi, yes. The drops end September 5th, so you have plenty enough time, chat. You guys have plenty enough time.
Definitely exciting. We want to win it. We want to do our best. It's definitely a big event. See what we can do, really.
I hope we can do our best, and I'm really enjoying it so far.
There's no downside, and I think we can happily go into the mid-season final tournament and perform our best.
The big 2 for me are Envy and Sentinels. Envy is, honestly, we think probably one of the stronger teams in the competition. They're definitely ones we are going to be putting in a lot of focus into trying to beat. And Sentinels is also a team which I have friends on. And I know there's a high chance
Poor Sentinels.
early in the tournament.
I feel really bad for Sentinels,
they're one of our
chat.
earlier focuses, and we need to make sure we beat them as well.
I feel really bad for
Personally,
Sentinels.
I would like to face Citadel Gaming again, since they're this other European team, and we did fall short to them in the Ignite finals in Europe.
Is the winner
So I
here
would love
considered
to
the
beat them
best in the
again and
world?
show
So
that
when
we can be
Naga
better
wins,
team.
he's the
He's
best with his team?
I don't think anyone
I mean, that's
is
what it seems
able
like, yeah.
to put a lot
The
of
best team
pressure on
wins,
us.
right?
I think the only thing we can do is like focus and do our best. I think we need to put pressure on ourselves rather than be pressure from any team.
You know, it's actually really, it's really wild. It's really wild if you actually think about it. Envy was the 3rd America team. Out of all the 3 teams in America, it was I'm gonna take that off. Out of all the 3 teams in America, it was Sentinels, 100 Thieves, and Envy. Envy made it all the way to the finals, and they were in the lower bracket, I'm pretty sure, chat. Like, all the way fighting for their lives on the first day. And they almost lost. They almost literally lost. If you look right here, and look at the tournament, let's make it a little bigger. Like, right here, Envy, sorry, no, this is the play-in stage, all the way, no, it was right here. Citadel was up 2-0, and they reverse swept Citadel, which is wild. And if you're looking at this, Rad lost to Envy. Envy beat Rad 2-0. Envy beat Rad 3-1. This is their 3rd match together, and Envy's winning right now 2-1, which is wild. And also, the cool thing about Rad is Rad, they played every single day to live. Rad went here, they played here, and they qualified. And then they played here as well. They 3-0'd Sentinels, which, by the way, Sentinels was the best American team. Wild. The best America team lost. And then they went to the lower bracket and lost, which is sad. I feel horrible for those guys, but I mean, they're still walking away with what, $25,000? I mean, that a bad day? That's wild, though, chat. Wait, what do you mean? What is wild is you saying Envy is 2-1. Oh, did I say Envy's 2-1? Rad's 2-1. Is there a bracket reset if Rad wins? I don't even know what that means. What does a bracket reset mean? This is the last day of the tournament. You think that if Rad wins, the whole bracket resets to 0 and all the teams play again? I don't understand what that means. That's for fighting games usually? Oh. I don't know. Yeah, I have never experienced that. I don't know what that even means.
Because of, like we were talking about before we come back on the Brock. You're talking about how during the break, we see the players.
Fighting games do a bracket reset?
And, bump shoulders, which is awesome.
It's been great to meet them. Yeah.
It's awesome to see the players and stuff. That's the highlight of this event for sure. Everybody meeting each other. But Naga talked about how he just picked up Phoenix 2 days ago, which is insane for sure. Like you said, that's insane. The fact that he just picked up that hero so recently, and it's incredible to witness him kind of evolve on that hero already so fast.
Yeah, seeing the players that are dominating us in ladder in person is a unique thing. But yeah, picking up a hero 2 days ago, playing the hero at that level, Phoenix is such a problem. I do think we need to see that Phoenix ban, but I'm not sure what the next
I don't think
is, because I do think if you allow Phoenix
bracket reset basically means that the losers, if the losers beat the winners, then they're both in losers and they play another best of series.
Stage number 1 is
I've never heard of that before. Because I guess it does make sense for
and that's why they had to play the play-ins.
A double elim?
No. When we talk about ban phases, a team like Team
Envy, a bracket reset means if someone from a lower beats a team in the higher in the grand finals, they replay because of double elim. Oh, that makes sense, but no, that doesn't happen in these games.
Rad is, like we said, a team that is very much all about.
If you get to the grand finals through losers, you have to win 2 series. That makes sense, but no, they don't do that. Chat, if we did that, we'd actually be here till like midnight. That would happen way too long.
Even as we talked to Nectar, they mentioned to us against Rad in particular, you cannot.
I remember a guy from VP told in Twitter to Rad they better play like this in China, and here we are now. That's wild if you remember that.
Because they have always seemed to manage to push that thing to 70+% on the first hole.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot that they've been able to do, but now we're going to Hell's Heaven.
Yeah.
Let me. We're going to Hell's Heaven, chat. We're going to a Koth map. Let me blow my nose real quick before this match starts.
Yeah.
What do you think about that pick? And we talked about like Wolverine and stuff, Shib. Like we talked about those type of heroes, and I know it's a very specific, hyper-specific situation that you're dealing with, but what do you think about Iron Fist so far in the tournament? I know a lot of people don't think even Iron Fist is particularly good.
I think Fist is definitely playable. As we were watching scrims with teams, they were playing Fist in various compositions, but a lot of the time it was due to the fact that they wanted that team up with Luna, right? And that is, at this level of play, it's valuable because the dive is so, ridiculous.
Without a bracket reset, it is unfair to the winner's bracket winner.
They do not miss those 10
No, I don't think so.
The animation cancels are flawless. There is so little time to react, and you need some other tool.
I mean, I understand what you guys are saying, but I don't
by the way,
think
talking
that's
to
going
each
to
other
work
during the
like
show
that.
match because Rad earlier wiped out 100 Thieves, unfortunately. They got sent
sorry, I should have been muted.
Third place. So we're not competing for 160,000.
I've never heard that a day in my how the bracket reset you guys are saying in my 31 years of living almost.
Who was the first innovator sort of situation?
Almost.
And, I think
3 months in, I'm 31.
Stuff that we've seen earlier, which we might see later on. This is the guy that we've seen play a ton of Jeff and Fate on the opposite side. So I kind of want to see what Rad does in this upcoming map. They might see more. We might see that competition come through, as I believe it was Hell's Heaven that we saw. I believe Citadel play it when Tanuki hit the 5K with the It's Jeff Ultimate.
Biggest Jeff ult we've had in the tournament. But the closest next
happens in Rocket League. I think Rocket League tournaments probably go by a lot faster than
we were together for that one. We could count it as 5 because he got his own teammate too in the previous one. Off the map, got to recall that situation. But these players are always all phenomenal and are here in the grand finals for a reason.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't think it's unfair for the upper bracket team. Because if you do lose and you go to the loser bracket, you do have to play another game. And I mean, hey, maybe that means you're more mentally exhausted. Maybe you're more tired.
It's usually on the opposite
I don't know. Maybe that also is beneficial and makes you more warmed up.
Or for Rad.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Mag is definitely one of the strongest, most consistent vanguards, especially when helping with things like dive.
Okay, Chad, do you guys think we're going to see a Phoenix ban from Envy? Or Phoenix save?
I'm not sure how specifically it is targeting a various Vanguard, because both of those Vanguards can play Magneto, but as we see here, Envy, what do you know? Again, Mantis, goodbye, and on the opposition, goodbye to Torch. No change over all of these first 4 ban phases.
Yep, and we notice, usually when a team protects, you kind of have a counter ban on the opposite side. The tough part about Luna Snow is that you can't do that. Early protect now from the side lock, right? Maybe you could bait out some bans from Rad, right? You protect Psylocke, maybe you bait the Emma Frost ban on the opposite side. Rad getting rid of Phoenix, and there it is. There's the Emma Frost ban. But
there's
now,
the Human Torch, and there's the Phoenix ban, chat.
That could potentially happen, and then also this opens up maybe triple. So this is not bad for Envy right now in the ban phase, depending on what Rad does. Does Rad want to get rid of
there
Luna,
it is.
and they're the Adam Warlock ban? They understand how strong that is.
Yeah,
Envy,
right now,
please tell me your last ban is going to be Jean Grey or Human Torch.
And let the
please.
Play more comfortable picks
Please.
like Psylocke. Maybe impactful for them with that.
Nope, they saved Jean Grey. GG chat.
Going to protect that Phoenix on the side of Rad. I do think they need to. I think the Phoenix has got a ton of value.
Yeah, we just talked about how maybe, like we were talking about Naga in the hallway, maybe they weren't respecting Naga enough. I'm sure they're talking about that now.
Yeah.
And they protected it because they're aware of Envy maybe thinking about that. So this is going to be a tough choice for Envy now because they have to play.
At least they did one. At least they did one.
Now they're getting rid of that too. So
I would have preferred the Jean Grey, but
that's what we talk about, how flexible they are and how you can play. They could have even protected the Human Torch if they wanted to in that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a difficult. The final ban on Torch. I don't absolutely.
Well, it makes sense because of how good Torch is.
Sure.
No, this is not match point.
But the
especially
thing
if they're going to ban
first to 4. It's 2-1 right
Rad,
now. Rad's winning.
Human Torch is better than Phoenix at the current moment. That's why everybody's banning out Human Torch every game. But you have to think about it momentum-wise, right? You have to think about it. What they've been practicing, what they've been playing in this game is a ton of Phoenix, and it's working out so well. So even though you give up the Human Torch, it makes sense to keep on to Phoenix because maybe Envy's looking to ban out that.
And we will progress forward here into Hell's Heaven. The bans have been completed. Will we see a tie-up situation here?
I don't know, man. I also feel like it's a little wild, chat. It's a little wild that like
Envy's first few
Envy's
losses.
not, dude.
They only had 3 total. In the entire tournament, including the
they had 3 losses in the entire tournament, and today
in the final,
they already lost 2.
Rad is stepping up in this
That's wild.
We're talking about the grand finals advantage.
Where's Rad and Envy from? Envy is NA, Rad is EU.
2 chances against Team Envy to come back, and here we go.
Okay, chat, come on, let's see this fighting.
The casters obviously in the arena. I think we're going to see some Jeff, but here's that portal.
The kidnap play, folks, the idea here is to kidnap a backline, and the mines will do the work for them. Let's see if this works for them. Right now, the kidnap goes out. No, they were ready. Good idea. Cal is going to be switching off here quickly. And yes, now going to be on the Star-Lord. So Star-Lord for Cal Speedery on that Psylocke. Emma Frost not going to get through as Kaluge is still on Strange, holding on.
Oh, they're running BP.
Rajaro again with 3 down. Rad is really using this momentum to their favor. They know what's on the line, and they want this title and to go down in history.
Rad beat 100 Thieves and Sentinels. Damn, Rad is NA's biggest threat.
Good team, I think, gets trolled by that Dr. Strange kidnap play these days because a lot of the top players and top teams are aware of a domination. Playing it Melee on the Black Panther is definitely a sight to behold.
All right, and we start now, trust me, on the height, trying to make sure that no off angle is taken, and I think that's a very smart play by Captain America, who will do that job just fine. Window on that Venom. Naga gonna find Speedery again in the neutral, and that is massive fate on the Window now. Rad, like we had said, gets point early, and they just hold it for days, and now they are going to be used that Captain America as the way to stall with that Luna Snow and Invis from level 1
on Captain America.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing so well around Naga on Phoenix at the moment. I mean, this has been a terrifying
I think you need to ban
this
Phoenix,
It's going to change the bans of Envy coming up, and this is what I said.
I was going to say, fuck
a little
the
bit
ban
before we came back, after we came back from break.
In my opinion.
That Envy,
who cares about the ban suspension?
Sometimes struggle, but we'll see how this plays out. As Black Panther, this map 2 is always something you have to worry about.
Yeah, I do agree, and we start with another engage from the side. The Venom out on Window, looking for the back line, taking a fair amount of damage. Cal low now. Naga showing up. Kaluge is going to be on. I like that. Captain America changing pace here, being a little more aggro. I think it's working for them when they're able to get on those strategists. Cal trying to play aggressively. Speedery is low now, is going to dash out. Cal going to find Naga, put them up in numbers, but we do have that Freedom Charge out. I think that was used there by Kaluge. It was. So doubled up there on Month. I'm not sure you needed both in that moment.
Yeah, it's going to be curious if what happens in this upcoming fight because of, like you said, Shiv. I mean, trust me, has his ultimate ready to go. Sure, the Lake level and quick, and they know that, right?
That's a great stagger, though.
Being staggered, has to kind of walk off the map. Is the Window even open? Here comes the eliminations. Green's out early just to make sure they can find more. Maybe they're going to go for Trust Me if they found this dagger. That's huge.
Oh, they're going to get more. They're collapsing heavy. Can they find a third? No.
Damn.
They will not. I was wondering if
I wish
there is
a
I wish
for Melio.
Oh no!
As Melio finds
no!
That is a huge pick. Out we go with another strategist ultimate just to kind of delay some time. Melio playing a little bit safe.
I wish
trying to use that
I wish Envy played a little bit more like aggressive.
too far, too extended for Team Envy. You would think on Captain America, you're not in the situation where you have to do that. Resets come through as well. As the Freedom charge is there from Trust Me early on. Here comes the legendary in the sky. I mean, I don't even know if Cal's in that safe of a spot to do this. He's just going to kind of stagger. Speedery also goes down. Envy's making mistakes.
And it's 81 on here, percentage-wise for Rad. 41 to Envy, doubled up. And Fate does use that alt. Naga going to be holding on as level 1 Crook is gaining towards that invisible boundary as well. Speedery ready, Window. They've got to use these ults effectively now, or they will be doomed, as at this point, Rad, it's in one fight territory ready with a strange portal. This is a dangerous position to be in if you're on the side of Envy. Another psionic.
Nice, that's a great dive. That's what they need to keep doing. Keep diving like that. Dive their backline, destroy their backline, and the team falls apart.
Is going to force out that
nice. They need a Speedery and Window need to keep doing that. Kaluj
at the end of that fight
needs a. I don't know if Kaluj needs to do that. I think he needs to protect his supports, appeal for his supports. But
the hard part,
that's what they need to do, bro.
Envy is they have to force it out in a spot that favors them. Right, level 1 Crook is gonna be the player you have to watch. And so we can find out maybe alongside Melio, because he's always going for those one-shot kind of backline setups on Black Panther. But really, it all depends on where level 1 Crook can pop off this ultimate.
Melio playing hyper aggro towards the back line, but Cal trying to mark as much as possible. The Panther is ready. Do you hear Bass? Because I hear him calling as they walk onto point right behind.
See, Captain America
the charge,
is
literally getting ready
scary.
for that freedom charge, and we only have the invisible boundary out with Bass. Will we see that combo? Kaluj gonna match it right back. Out goes that boundary now. Cal, trying to get towards that ult. Melio waiting for the perfect moment, waiting out this freedom charge, and then we will see Bass wreaking havoc.
Do you guys think Melio's gonna pop off with this ult? He has the only ult for Rad.
88% now.
He needs to pop off. But come on, Arrow. The support ult's gonna go out here soon. We don't have a support ult. Month is 25% off.
But there will be strategist line ults coming with Fate on Rad. Out we go. Bass with Fate.
Yo, they got him. Good shit.
Even the odds a little bit though, and that's nice.
Come on, take it. Don't die to the freedom.
At this point, it is who loses one more. It's the teleport is gone here. As they press forward, Naga gonna start meleeing for days. We do
Month got it. Nice.
Psionic. Again with the end song. Does it get value? No.
Oh, they win. They win the round. Wait, I don't know yet. Did Melio take the TP? No, he just died, right? He died first. I think he's TPing. Block it. They're blocking it. They got it.
Too nice.
They got it.
Man, round number 1. Going in favor on Frozen Airfield.
Oh my God. Good shit.
Captain America is. We talked about how good
shit.
Venom is. But right now we saw the value of Venom alongside Luna Snow, and that's kind of that tandem.
Good shit. Now they got to do it again. They got to do it again. Too low, or is that a good portal? It depends, because if you put the portal too high and you jump through the portal, then you're not going to be on point, right? You're going to have to fall 2 point and you're going to get the touch. What they could have done is, instead of like jumping through that front of the portal, someone could have ran around the back and jumped through, but it depends on how much time is left.
Everything changed when that happened, and it just took them too long to make that decision. So this may change the way the flow of the series is going, because I do think they needed to figure that out.
Absolutely. I think
good shit. Good shit.
We talked to Trust Me as well a lot, and he was mentioning how this game's a game about cycling, right? Cycling ultimate, cycling one-shot combinations. For Envy, their one-shot is that Venom. It doesn't happen every single time. With Luna Snow, it's hard to get that team up. Rajaro just dashed into the wall. I think he just diamond form dashed into the wall instead of dashing out of spawn. One of us, yeah. But for Rad, their one-shot combination is the Luna Snow alongside Jean Grey. So at least they have that combination, that cycle ready to go. But Cal as well on Star-Lord has been an absolute game changer. I mean, he's doing so much in terms of creating space and maybe even finding picks.
Yeah, and level 1 Crook very close to ultimate with Kaluj. You talk about the essentially triple strategist ultimates there when you do have Cap on the team, and I do agree with that fully, but the way that they play Cap can be hyper aggro and essentially play it almost like an Atom Revival, just because you can not get KO'd if playing Cap with that ult up properly. And Melio gonna find one early on a Speedery, and that is a number up for the side of Rad. Nobody on point in terms of captured yet, as it is 2-2. Out goes the invisible boundary. Nobody will match that. Kaluj keeping that assemble. Out they go. Cap, freedom charging into their front line, and that just means the team has to follow up. They want that shield. Naga doing what Naga does on this hit scan. A ton of damage out, not allowing Window to make too much space. Ooh, just missed the grapple. Is going to be in trouble here. Playing aggro still, but is going to fall as Fate cleans up Window. Unfortunately, the grapple got canceled, I think, by that invis pull. So that was really well done by Crook, and maybe not seen there on the broadcast.
No, absolutely. I mean, right now there's so much pressure on Window, and Speedery trying to equalize it. Monk there with the follow-up onto that dive. Huge plays from the Luki player of Envy.
Yeah, and now we still do not have point captured as numbers are up, or even, excuse me, on both teams. Melio with that ultimate.
Oh my God, he almost died.
Dance of the Cutterfly holding on with that ult. They do see Psylocke still in a vulnerable position. Cal trying to put some damage out, but no, it is matched by the Fate. We see a tackle from Rajaro. Kaluj goes down now. Will the point finally be captured as the team is going to be forced to reset? Down goes Cal now, and they will reset.
I mean, they made it. Envy might have won this fight if we go back to the very beginning. If Window didn't go down, I mean, the spawns on domination are just so far away from the point that even for Venom, a fast character still has to wait 10 seconds to spawn and then has to swing back and still walk. So much value found in finding Window in that fight, maybe before he could ult as well. So right now, Rad doing a good job shutting down the Venom player in comparison to the last map.
Yeah, I think when Invis is on the opposition, you have to play a totally different game as when it comes to Venom. That pull is detrimental to you if you use that cooldown, and they're prepared for it, which at this level they are always prepared for it. They know which cooldown is most impactful for them to cancel, just like if you saw Wolverine on here. Logan would
nice
be
dive.
Out we go with another ultimate here. The invisible.
They killed through it. They got the Luna.
Window get one as Fate falls, and there we see Naga trying to get to the back line. Level 1 Crook trying to escape here now. Cal gonna put the pressure on. They did come back from an early take last time. 41% is not too much if they can take this quickly.
Wait, Chad, do you guys remember what support Rad was playing first map?
Melio is on
They're playing Cloak and Dagger, right?
No,
they can't.
Again onto Speedery.
Were they playing the Invisible Man the whole time?
Opportunities that shouldn't exist.
Oh my
Melio
goodness! Melio just holding that internal angle. I don't even know if they know where Melio is. Taking them off point one by one, and they win because of that. That whole fight was won by Melio, and I will stand by that.
No, they can't play Cloak either. Cloak's banned.
Trust me, the tandem, the duo, the dives, he's just making things work right now. There's so much pressure onto Envy, who through the invisible boundary were able to get eliminated with Cal, Window, on top of Speedery's dance to the Cutterfly. So right now, Rad, massive work from Melio.
Yeah, Melio again already with that Psylocke, ready for the dance. Fate going to be close by, and then Rajaro should have it towards the end of this fight. But if you look over at Envy, there should be a ton of ults ready for this fight. At this point, you cannot overcommit because they are in one-fight territory, and you are not. Melio does not miss. Ton of damage out, ready for the dance, and it will force out some cooldowns. There it goes. I thought, just tricked it up a little bit. Forced out crystals. Month gonna follow up on Naga from Cal. Puts a ton of damage out here with the Galactic Legend. Up we go with the Psylocke, or excuse me, with the Psionic, which does find 3, and that is huge as Melio cleans up now.
Those
crystals being gone.
Melio's disgusting, chat.
Now matched right back with Psylocke. Oh,
Melio
tries, does manage to get not one, so low on the front line of Trust Me, who uses that freedom charge to keep the team healthy. Out we go with the teleport here by Naga now, who just wants to close this out on map 2 instantaneously.
Wow, this isn't even a close round. It's 99 to, it's almost 100 to 0.
It's not even. Venom going in with the ultimate Cal on the inside angle, goes down to Melio again.
Yeah, I mean, Melio is on one. This is a rampage.
This isn't even, yeah, Melio's locked in right now. This guy's disgusting.
Kaluj, forcing out the invis boundary copy there from Month, and that is good. The Venn diagram out, if you will, with the double boundary. Trust me, with the team through as Month goes down. Get rid of that boundary. Not much option left here. You need to teleport here on the side of Envy, who have.
No, they don't even have a DB.
And that is a W for Rad, 100-0.
That was just dominating, chat. That.
Round on Hell's
That is so back and forth between Melio is just legit hard carrying right now, bro.
Of Rad, Frozen Airfield going the other way, and for Super Soldier,
that looked absolutely disgusting.
We are now going to see another map where I think that the Psylocke should do quite well. I mean, you don't have the team up on the other side for Team Envy as Emma Frost was removed, right? We talked about how they protected Psylocke, forcing out the Emma Frost ban, and the opposite was happening earlier. They were banning out Psylocke when Emma Frost was protected, and I think right now we're learning why Emma Frost is such a valuable character. It's because of, like you saw earlier with Melio, he was just doing so much on Psylocke.
Jesus Christ,
yeah, not only is it an offensive ult where it does allow you to have faster burst potential, but a lot of the top Psylocks are using it defensively, correct? Where they will instead use it just by an iframe moment and distract the enemy to force them to look at 2 different Psylocks.
Yeah, and I think that we saw how much they needed to do to even, get a drop of blood out of Rad. We saw them lose a fight where they committed, Venom ultimate alongside Dance to the Cutterflies, alongside Cal with the spin to win sort of combination, and even that wasn't enough.
You know what Envy needs?
So Rad
Envy needs to sign me. I'm saying it right now. Sign me, put me on the bench.
Yeah, no
if they need a 6'9", 420-pound jacked streamer to terrorize the enemy team, they need to throw me in. I bring fear into my enemies. Fear. When people see me, they start trembling.
is getting
before J3.
Here by the back right side.
Like, if you saw me in real life, chat, your knees would start shaking, your legs would start shaking, you're gonna start buckling. You know what? You're like almost falling.
8 HP with an escape there. Level 1 Crook doing a great job on holding that natural cover right side position. Cal gonna wait this out, potentially see something here as we do see the fate of both worlds from Nero. Up we go with Kaluj. Will this meteor land? Not gonna be enough damage done.
Oh, nice block. Wow.
Second patient.
That was a crazy block.
Rajaro to help out the back line and keep them healthy. Naga meleeing for days. All you need to do in those moments and finding 2 as they sweep up the rest.
Nah.
And they are walking in now, but Envy is at this point just trying to fall back and reset.
Kaluj got forced physics off the
People
map,
do that because Emily's with you? Okay.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter how many ultimates you pop in this fight, it's over. That was a huge push in the pit from Crook, man.
As much as I want NA to win, chat, I think we're going to see EU win.
Able to find those picks, but okay. Melio goes too far. We saw Kaluj do this previously.
True, it's Doma. I drink less liquids today.
In the driver's seat.
Rad really showing up in this matchup, looking like a refreshed team. Out we go with another invisible boundary. Speedery pulling that out is value. Up we go with Naga now.
Sick.
And we do have the end song towards
this
the back line, getting rid of some of those shields. And Cal, not to mention. So what a pick again. Naga onto Kaluj now as they're walking them forward.
Alright,
these walls.
this might sound
and
crazy.
panicking. Envy on the swap train now for days. It's a sign of a team that needs to figure something out. I like the idea, but it is a dangerous position to be in.
Okay, this is going to sound crazy, chat.
Already at 40% roughly and climbing.
Yeah, if we're not going to play Jean Grey or prioritize getting rid of Naga,
They need to stop banning Mantis. I understand why they're banning Mantis, but I think it's time to change some stuff up, bro. They are about to be, if they lose this round, they're about to be down 3-1. 3-1, chat.
To the invisible woman, force physicsing off the map.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen Envy take on Rad multiple times with 2 different separate Ws against each other, but I think the changes recently, the team comps, the understanding of new heroes that were talked about. We talked about Naga picking up, Phoenix over the last day or so. That might have been the factor here that is allowing them to push.
Wait, who picked up a character like a day ago?
Why not get 2 more? Melio and Naga are just killing it right now.
Yeah, we got to get rid of the Phoenix after this map, I think. If you're
yes, that's what I've been saying. Get rid of the Phoenix.
4 maps that you need to win.
Get rid of the Phoenix.
On the board, though,
Naga picked up that character like a few days ago.
Right now,
Jesus, that's even more demoralizing.
Kaluj does have that Meteor M, and it's going to need a lot of love. It's got to be big for them to find a ton of value here, as there's not much that can stuff it.
What sucks is that Envy beat Rad already twice, chat. Envy beat Rad twice already, and now
it is getting
they're getting folded. Well, they didn't lose yet. They could always come back.
With that Psylocke backline dance of the butterfly, looking for some damage. Melio going to force out crystals now. Up we go. Kaluj very low in HP is going to get healed up and use it, trying to find Naga, but does not find Naga. Now we see it right back.
Nice.
It goes down. Rajaro on a Speedery. Both traded. Make that a strategist. Says trust me. Gets another now. Rad are absolutely on one as they are walking them to the door again. The portal needs to come through if possible. Not sure that it even can, as you just got to try to hold to the point, allow your team to portal, and I don't think they can. It's over.
Right now, Rad are looking immortal at the current moment. They're so flexible, and
this is bad.
We didn't talk about that enough. I think the duelist of this team until
this is bad.
Now, man, they are just incredibly flexible, like you said, with Naga being able to flex over to
Envy needs
wake up. Moment.
You know what?
That's the history. That's the future.
Instead of what the fuck is a kilometer? You know what? What the fuck is a miles per hour? You know, I'm switching sides, chat. What is freedom?
Yeah, I think that
Celsius is on top.
Line, them pulling out that invis.
Let's go, Celsius!
We saw the Venom Cap finding a lot of value on map 1, and then switching.
What the fuck is a
prioritize towards Venom?
What is that? What is that?
You have Psylocke dealing so much damage and Naga dealing so much damage on Phoenix. The group's not going to get too much value.
And there's some communication.
If you know what? If Rad wins, you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? Beans on toast.
At the same time, so. For as good as the back,
I'm gonna wake up.
Rad showing.
I'm gonna have some beans on toast.
Can play to that level, and also
or toast on beans. Whatever the variation is, I don't know. What do you guys do? You guys put the beans first or the toast first? I don't know. Milk or the cereal first, chat.
Rad has just done their homework. They're looking clinical, and they are forcing the team to look more panicked. Envy, which I would argue is a team that, out of all teams, has the conversation of being very calm or very structured in being able to switch comps and handle something, but they are not able to handle Rad at all right now.
What
Rad
the hell?
Is looking dominant, especially on domination.
Is a Fahrenheit.
We need to see the ban phase maybe change up.
Like, imagine that, chat.
I think this is the reason if Envy were to lose this series 3-1 right now, if they were to lose.
Like, who says that? Hey, what's the temperature outside? Oh, it's 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, makes sense. What's the temperature outside? 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
Shot in the dark
Who says
almost
that?
kind of situation, but Rad, I think today just looks so good, and those adaptations are really panning out for them, like you said.
Poor Emily is going to be gassed by Jay3 all day long tomorrow.
Rad, that's the biggest strength, right? We can see maybe why Captain America, for example, was a little bit more valuable than Venom, because once they shut down those one-shot combos, it happened only once, right? With Venom. That's the difficult part about Venom, is that even if you get one, team fight win because of Venom, it's kind of different than Captain America, where the reason why Stratus Ultimates are so good is because they last forever.
Yeah, this is why we love you, homie. You have no shame in changing sides. To be honest with you, chat, do I want Envy to win?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I have more friends on Envy, and they are NA, I am NA. But to be honest with you, I want a good series. I hope Envy does well, because I don't want to. I don't want to see a 4-1. Like, if Rad wins the next match, the finals is a 4-1. I feel like that's kind of boring, bro. I want it to be close.
60-70%. Everything's out the window. You start throwing out.
How Americans feel about beans on toast is how I feel about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Oh my god, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches is delicious, bro. Oh my god. Yes, Envy is NA and Rad is EU. Yes. Oh man. Beans. Sorry, not beans on toast. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are sound fucking.
I mean, trust me, if he's definitely running the ban phase.
Yeah.
I hate talking about player and talking about them too much and giving them too much credit, but right now this does seem like a draft diff at points. And
okay, come on. I need Envy to win. Listen, chat, I'll make you guys a deal right now. If Envy wins,
it's because of, like you said, they are immortal.
If Envy wins, chat, I'm gonna marry my sister.
This next map and win $160,000.
We are at game point for Rad here, and I do expect us to likely see Central Park, but you have to remember, I did say, and I'm sure they've done their homework with both teams.
7 hours. What time is it for you guys? 4:30, almost p.m.
Yep. From the choice, and I'm assuming it's Central Park. We'll see shortly.
Okay, let's take a bet right now, chat. I bet you guys the house. I bet you guys the kids. I bet you guys even the cats that Envy didn't learn their lesson, and they're not. I bet you their first ban is going to be Mantis, and they're not going to ban Phoenix. They need to ban Phoenix. Phoenix. Ban Phoenix.
He looks like a ton of fun, and I'm excited to see what the change is going to be, because I think Guardians Comp has been
what did he just say?
So dominant at this level.
Can someone clip it so I can see what he said? I just heard him say J3.
Fans were forced here towards that Guardians Comp because every team is scared.
Off the top of the dome, since we haven't been home, like what changed with that patch, with the Adam Warlock removed? What was changed? What was given to Mantis and stuff?
Yeah, so Mantis now enables a team up where Loki gets damage boost inside crystals, which is going to change up a lot of those damage boost compositions.
Damage boost inside crystals.
Yes, Adam Warlock also, when rezzing, now gets, I think it's 70 or 80% additional overhead on the res. So now you can be hyper aggro with the res. Doesn't have that team up anymore to res, or you know what I mean. So that's very important, because it doesn't give that instinctive team up to everyone else. But he gives a team up to Luna, and gives a team up to Luna, where now she has essentially anti-dive, where she can mark an enemy who's diving, Luna, and then you can deal damage and heal yourself at the same time.
And she still has the Iron Fist team up, right?
That doesn't make any sense. That Rad's ninth.
It's changed to where Fist now has a team up where he can, when he's meditating, actually give overhealth to everyone around him as well, so prior to a fight. So.
Sorry, just throwing you into like a quiz almost, as we see Rad going through and talking about maybe the balance changes to 3.5, which you should check out right now if you don't have.
Oh, that doesn't make sense, because Envy won one and they just stayed in the upper bracket.
This is super fun. I love the fact that we're in front of a crowd and in person, and we get to see all of our teammates, but I just want to be home and play the damn game.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, I would not trade this experience with the world. This has been so fun. I've learned so much from them, right? And I cannot wait to see what.
I learned so much.
As we do look at the stats here. Okay, so once again,
I'm gonna lower myself.
At Melio, you got 22 finals. Naga with 30k damage.
Melio popped the fuck off 22 finals. Jesus Christ, chat. Jesus.
All of these finals, and when you have that availability to have those clones,
22, man.
aggro, it's so much.
This is what I was talking about. I don't think, by the way, Naga, 30k damage on top of that, right? Just the Gene Great damage output is there. The follow-up damage usually there from like a Loki or Fate in this instance with 11k on his side. And, in level 1 Cook too. The biggest thing, I just don't think that Melio gets talked enough in terms of just being the best duelist in the game. Naga as well on Phoenix, able to flex over to that hero. But there we go, MVP for sure, like you said, Shib. I think this guy has a real shot at being #1. People talk about Sparker still to this day for good reason. Sparker is good, but I think Sparker is the sort of beginning of the future of this game, right? Sparker
How many games are left?
Kind of play a bunch of
could be
heroes,
1, could be
have the
4,
pool at the highest
3.
level. Melio on stage, I think
could
that
be
he
1, could be
definitely
3.
Is the best duelist in the game, or has a top 3 discussion at least in his back pocket.
And events like this will prove it to everyone, and that's what you gotta love about coming down in the history books. Look at some of these alt in plays here.
And that's one thing, like early days when I was watching Melio streams and stuff, we take back a look at all the Venom plays, like you said, all the Captain America stall alongside Fate of the Worlds. But I mean, the biggest thing with Melio, man, when I watched his streams, he would talk about prioritizing flexibility. At the very beginning of this game, he's like, I just want to play everything. Make sure that my hero pool is not lacking. And I just laughed it off. I was like,
not possible.
Not possible. I was like, you can't just play every hero. And I was wrong. Turned out I was wrong, because realistically, you don't have to play every hero. You have to have a baseline of every hero, and then per patch, maybe have 3 to 4 really good heroes that you play on. And Melio tends to do that. He can play every single hero in the game, and on top of that, go for these dives. And trust me, who has been another really strong candidate as being the best Captain America and also Venom player in the game.
Yeah, and you speak to some of these duelists, and I've had the conversation with some of these teams that have echoed a similar testament, where it's essentially you want to have 3 or 4, like you're saying, very strong heroes, but you want to have at least 1 or 2 that you can cross-play together as a team, because then you rest of your flex pool. At least they can fill maybe a more meta like Psylocke, right?
Jay looking really short with his face cam. Oh, I was doing that so you guys can see the full stats. My bad.
So those very meta duelists need to be played by the team, but outside of that, you want to have some variety that the other do not cover. So these teams are making sure they cover those zones. And I think right now we need to start figuring out what we can ban, if you're on the side of Envy, against over to Rad, because Rad, they don't need to change a thing. They are looking flawless.
And I don't mean to be Debbie Downer, but this is what I was talking about earlier. I just don't think Envy, in terms of their draft phase, has been as good as Rad. Everybody talks about how Rad's ban phases and
no, Rad has the better ban phases.
They made a mistake. They protected Loki before. They don't make that mistake anymore. They protect the Phoenix. They protect the Luna at the right times.
Sure.
Envy is not adapting at the current moment, and they're sort of falling behind. And that's why we're seeing that steady fall off of Envy from a map-to-map basis, is because of the draft phase. But we are going to Central Park, and was this a good map for Envy, I believe you talked about?
It was a good map for both teams, and that's why it's a little tricky. I'm sure they've done their homework, and they've gone, or they understand how good Rad is at Central Park. But maybe they didn't, right? No, they definitely have. Right. But both teams pick this map when available, when they need to, and they find success almost across the board. We have yet to see them duke it out here, I don't believe, or in either way. Rad is looking like a brand new team, and so you can't.
If you were a pro team ship, hard question.
Yo, Gru 682, appreciate the massive 3 months. How you doing? Yeah, I thought 100 Thieves was going to be in the finals as well. I feel you on that one.
For me, I would go ahead and say I would like to pick a map that forces the strong type of composition, which Rad typically is more dive focused and stall focused, where that doesn't play the best. And I do think that that Central Park is a map that can work well, until you get to those later parts of the points where it's all about just finding one.
Okay, chat.
Really
I think this is the moment. Do you think it's going to get banned?
Danger zone on stall.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome if you're tuning in to the mid-match of the mid-season finals in Guangzhou, China. $500,000 on the line, $160,000 to first place. Whoever were to lose this loses half of the pot in their side. And man, what an incredible tournament it's been. And this is going to be an incredible.
Damn, I can't find the thing I'm looking for.
On map 5s, on matches where teams
I'm trying to look for something.
A lot of teams tend to bounce back, right? On the ropes. What do you do? How do you respond? Your first opportunity to respond is going to be in this ban phase.
An animal is most dangerous when backed into a corner. Is Envy
true?
That animal? We
Envy better. I hope Envy isn't checked out.
Locked in and focused here, talking about what they want to do to make sure they bring this home.
Scary teams are here in this tournament. The top teams, both Rad and Envy. Shib, you talked about it. Both are.
I couldn't find what I was looking for. Damn it.
Really insane, right? It's the best 2 teams in the world here, and I know there's a lot of players.
What happened to Virtus Pro in the tournament? Virtus Pro didn't get past the stage 1 groups. I was trying to look for something very important, and I
There's a
couldn't
lot
find
of
it.
up-and-coming talent that are young, still, underage, 16, 17 years old, some 18 years old, 19. Like,
Yeah,
a lot of those
these
young
kids are
kids
young,
that are
bro.
still
They're half
getting
my
into
age.
it. I'm sure.
Okay, chat.
First of all, for being here.
Do you guys
and
think
I'm sure they think they're better than everybody on stage.
Rad
They definitely have a shot
is
to
going
be that.
to
They can
shut it
prove
out, or do you
themselves
guys think
in the Ignite
Envy
series
is backed
when
into
they
a
sign up
corner
for
like he said?
qualifiers?
Yeah, MRC, if you think
And
you
then,
can
are
be
they
a
gonna
pro,
win?
why not prove it? Put a team together, get out there, and try to make it to the qualifiers. Find yourself on these big stages and prove to everyone that you can back up what
No
you're
idea. What do you mean,
saying.
no idea?
And wow, look at this stage. It hypes me
You
up
gotta
every
answer.
time, folks.
Listen,
it is surreal
there is a
to
car.
be here.
If you don't
And
answer
I
this
know
question, the
crowd
car
is
will
tense.
a
Everybody
car
is
will
leaning
run
forward,
over your
smelling
foot.
the screen
Now,
as we see Mantis once again
pick a team.
for the side of NBB.
Oh my God!
And, Human
Wait,
Torch.
oh, I thought that was.
Human
Oh, they
Torch
went to the
getting rid
Mantis
of
Bandit
him
chat. They went to the
immediately,
Mantis Bandit. I swear to God, bro,
We already know
it's not
a
working.
ban.
Change
Here's the
things
blue
up.
Gamma Frost Protect. That's at least a change. Makes more
It's
sense, right?
it's not
Yeah.
Yeah, I
working.
think they look better with Emma.
Brian,
Their
no
very,
work.
very strong
Me
on
no
Emma.
understand.
Magneto
J3
got
mad.
his,
Why
much more
ban?
presence in the
It
KO
no
front,
work.
as Emma does, especially
Look,
against a
Rad's
character like this.
first
Luda's still locked in.
bans. Human Torch,
still
Jean
locked in.
Grey. That
They
work.
have a chance to get rid of
Envy,
Stone.
Envy,
They
no
want Captain
Brian.
America ban
What's
for
going
Team NV
on?
this time around?
Yeah, I like the cap ban here. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I think
Maybe
that
maybe
is
I'm
not a
like
bad idea.
delusional
Why
or
would you not
something.
try to ban out the Emma,
But I
though?
feel
Isn't
like
it also
you have to
Melio's
ban
been
Jean
playing
Grey. He's like
phenomenal
she's
on
very
that team.
strong.
Yeah, I agree, but I think getting rid of Psylocke is fine too, as that is matched on both sides. We are going to see some
Okay.
different compositions here. This is really going to
But
shake some stuff up.
But they didn't protect Emma. The Human Torch going through is definitely crazy, right? That's the first time we're seeing Torch get played for Red.
Human Torch is going to be.
Yeah, I think Envy isn't, they're not too stressed about it, it seems.
They're going to
and
save
gonna
their
lock
own
into
Mantis.
Mantis. So,
And they didn't get rid of the
Chat,
except for
GG's.
the Human Torch ban, but they didn't get rid of the Fates either.
GG's chat.
yeah, they're going to run that boost Ultron combo.
I think it's GG's.
That's what we're going to see here up in the sky for
All
the
right.
side.
All right. That's going to be fun. That's a change.
It
at
might
least
be
for Envy.
GG's.
That's something, but
Yeah.
I feel like we're getting the real desperation hours for Team Envy. I mean, they didn't get rid of Luna Snow, and yeah.
Or is this what they needed?
It could be.
I
Yeah,
think
you're right.
in my opinion, Envy really needed to shake things up, and I think them getting rid of things like Cap and Psylocke is a good change. There is so much value there. Yes,
Cap
they
and
did allow
Psylocke, I
Phoenix
agree,
through, and
but
it is banned on their side.
no,
Phoenix had a ton of
man.
value on damage, right? But the Psylocke was really the one getting those finals.
I don't know
Damage
if I'm
to me
wrong
only
though,
leads
but I
strategists
feel
on
like they
neutral
should
final.
change it up. And
Well, the funny thing, if we talk about the best triple res,
I don't know,
teams in the
chat. This
game,
is why I'm not a coach.
I don't know.
This
if
is
we
why
ever
I'm not a
talked about
coach.
Rad being one of them. Then we've always talked about Sentinels. Then we've always talked about.
I just think you gotta
you know,
change things
Gear
up,
versus
man.
Pro, two teams
If
not really
if
here at the tournament. There's a lot
Mantis,
of good
I
triple
don't know
res
about the
teams,
Mantis
don't get me
ban.
wrong, at this tournament, but I wonder if you can even let that
If it's
continue
not
if you really
working,
want
you
to
gotta
for a
fix
team
it, bro.
like Rad.
There is no use with the
Melio and
definition of
oh my
the
god, look
same
at Melio and
things over and
Naga,
over,
bro.
folks.
Melio and
The
Naga are
team
both on the.
things up, as you
Shit.
see now.
This could be over, man. This could be. The problem is it's such a big choice to leave open both Phoenix and Human Torch.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know,
scared
man.
For Team NV currently.
I don't know.
We will see the match back. Speedery going to be on that Storm. That's going to help with some of those cooldowns. Loki Crystals don't succeed too much into a Storm, and Storm one of those heroes that can get ult incredibly quickly. So that could come into the favor of Cal. Going to be on that Bucky, I think, to help just anti-aerially with some of the damage that we could see there from Bucky in the pull. So we begin now off the rip. The teams are pressing forward.
I don't
We
know
are gonna
if it's
lose
the
Nero
coach or
instantaneously.
the
Trust me on
players
that
doing the
Magneto.
bans though, chat.
Trust me, showing
I'm pretty
the
sure the coach is.
diverse hero pool
I don't know how it
that
works.
He does have as the teams are
I'm
now
pretty
down by
sure-
one. Walking back, Nero should be back into the fight
No,
shortly. and
no.
This could be a retake, but
Not
Naga
fire
already
their coach. They're
50%.
second place,
Trust
chat.
me
They
right
made it
there.
all the way
Crook
here, bro.
At 75. Month going to potentially launch right back in. Is going to use that copy. The team's got to make presence known now. Naga going to reset
4-1.
by time. 61%.
I said Emily said
Speedery
4-3, and I said
onto Melio, though.
4-2
Speedery
Envy.
finally
Oh my
being able
god,
to play
I was
that
wrong.
Storm in this comp. Trust me, off the map here. Likely
I was
due
looking
to
at
some
the
sort of
prediction.
Emma kickfall situation.
Yep.
Off the right side, Cal taking this space. We might see a portal back here from Melio. We do. Back on Rad. This is that portal that we're talking about. Naga going to find Nero in the back. Collapsing heavy. Cal onto Naga now, and that's that pick out of the sky as why Cal is on Bucky. Trust me onto Cal now, though. And this fight was close to taking point, but was
Damn,
not
that
enough.
was really
Yeah,
close.
this
That would have
is
been a
the problem
big
with
fucking
Bucky.
cap.
Melio TP's
That would have
back.
been a
They come
big
back through
cap
at
for
that choke
MV.
point, but the biggest problem is that, yeah, Bucky in general doesn't have that survivability that Phoenix does. I mean, Phoenix can fly, has the self-heal. On the opposite side, Bucky does have sustain with the overhealth, but right now, it's been so hard to get rid of a Phoenix player. On the opposite side, it's going to get rid of
No, chat,
Cal
bro.
on that Bucky.
second place is nothing to be mad about, chat. But I'm just saying.
Supernova, which one is more valuable, the Tornadoes or the Hurricane? As we see the pressure
Tornadoes.
Naga putting a ton of damage out towards the back.
Oh wait, never mind.
Naga, though.
Good shit, Cal.
Window is now pressing up. The meteor
oh, trust me, ate the Groot ult. Nice. Trust me is a really fucking good tank player. Jesus Christ. Oh, Cal! Go again! Go again! Oh, wait.
No portal.
Wait, he missed.
There's gonna be no reset. There is no portal, and walls are up, and they do get point.
Cal's looking like me out there, chat. Cal's looking like me out there. Nice.
This ban may have worked.
Yes, streets phase of the map now. 4 minutes and 5 seconds. You talked about it, Shib. I mean, it definitely could have worked for Team Envy. Maybe I was being too much of a Debbie Downer, as the fact that it's such a huge choice, a huge decision, so much on the line, especially on a map that you could lose and go home, back to North America, and for Rad's side, back to Europe. But right now, they have the driver's seat. Naga over the top left of the map, poking out Envy, who have the Shredder's ultimate ready to go. Their copy, same thing for level 1 Crook.
Folks, Envy has been here before against Citadel. They were down at game point and bounced back. Can they do it again? Month. Gotta bring out the damn
nice window.
Pick of Gru. Gotta find Melio, and that is a lot of value as Melio doing a ton of work there up in the sky. Naga dancing around with Torch. He's going to have to reset back, burn that cooldown. Naga now pressing forward again. The team does have that card up about halfway. Omega Hurricane's out now, right towards the back line. Goodbye cooldowns on the side of the strategist.
Oh, he's going to die, though. He has to back up on that one, man.
Going to find Trust Me numbers even now again, but we do have a Vanguard down for Rad. Out we go with the double Psionic. Who gets the most value?
Envy's going to lose this round. Win this fight.
On to that Supernova.
It's a 4v6. There's no way they win a 4v6.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier, game of inches, right? We saw Melio go down earlier because the fate of the worlds was a little bit too late. Supernova from the high ground. That's going to be so much damage.
Oh, what a fucking grab!
Oh my goodness, shuts it down.
Oh, but he didn't. What a fucking grab. Wow.
From looking towards the strategy.
Like, you had a split second to do that. He did it.
Kaluj built a little bit differently, and knowing that was coming. Cal ready with the Kraken impact with Windows combination. This could be huge, folks. Trust Me and Fate ready, but you almost don't want to combine too much. Oh, we see the combo here. Trust Me tried out of the sky. Naga going to take out Window. That combo will not happen just yet. Month going to copy up now and start the dance floor. Melio on the Punisher. Things are looking very different. Goodbye to that Phoenix. Cal going to hold on to this Kraken and reset as a team. Naga already 60% to that ultimate, and here goes the impact. Will it find value? Ooh, it does not. That was very aggro there by Cal, who was, no longer able to make that combo happen because Window was on the Magneto.
This Bucky pick has just not been working for Envy. That's the most difficult aspect of this matchup, is that Bucky not going to be getting as much value.
Oh, he got off the Bucky too as soon as the caster said that. Now he's on Hella.
Maybe forcing out the Punisher ultimate. So much damage coming down range now.
Psionic essentially forcing out the Judgment here, and that, I'll take that as a win if I'm on the side of Envy on the push. I do think that ultimate can be detrimental, especially against this competition. Trust Me is close. Level 1 Crook.
I like the Punisher pick from Rad. I don't know why Envy doesn't do it. Because you can kill 2 support ults.
Window with a big dunk.
Oh, that's a big fucking nice. Like, I feel like a Punisher would do well. You're doing consistent damage. You're not going to really go for like a lot of maybe final hits, but as soon as you get your ult, you can kill 2 support ults.
Naga is not able to play as aggressive. I think this let through of Torch surprisingly is really working out.
You just got to survive the Trust Me ult.
Hella. You're definitely right, Shiv. It's back and forth, maybe to move on to the game. Cal on Hella is a sight to behold based on what we've seen previously in MRC. I mean, he made a name for himself on Hella, one of the best Hellas in the game, if not the best. So awesome to see him back on a comfort pick, but we've seen teams, sort of play Hella last resort. We'll see if it pans out this time around.
Yeah, also there's something to be said about the damage boost from Storm with Hella is it threatening to those flyers. Out goes the Supernova again. Window going to retreat backwards just a little bit.
Rin, I don't think it's his fault. I think
unfortunately the building being created in that moment did not put Cal in an advantageous position.
Yeah, pushed him up there, up to the high ground. Meteor M now. Misses.
Gets dunked. Rajaro onto Speedery, and that could be a bit of an overcommitment here on the side of Rad, but I think they want to change the momentum. No ultimates left here for Rad. Fate going to be very close. Crook going to be there after Fate's ultimate, likely. Envy is also gaining towards Nero. Speedery and Kaluj. Cal going to be there, but Month used it all in that last fight.
The plan is slow. Envy also does have ultimates ready to go. Try to his ultimates very soon. They have to build those up, though. Nero only at 83%. Lunas now builds the ultimate so slow comparatively to how she used to be. And Rad right now have both Shredder's ultimates on their other side. So Could be a tough fight here for Envy. Maybe they'll have to go for a just dry sort of fight and maybe build up that month ultimate later on. But that could definitely impact it later in the fight.
Spectated with the Hurricane ready for action. This is likely going to try to pull out one of the strategy ults. Yes, it is. Right towards the back line. Can you confuse them? Will you force out a multitude? Up goes the Phoenix to counter. Great bubble there, allowing Spectated to keep going forward. It did not allow the counter to take place. As those who don't know, you get rid of all that extra health that you see from Storm with that combo. Up we go again from window from downtown.
Oh my god, that was a very far throw.
Good
job, Cal.
Cal making big plays now.
That's crazy.
Melio just missing the stun. Back into the heel we go. The dance floor, keeping the team healthy. Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Spectated gets another. Will they be able to get up these stairs? A very defensible position while they are resetting. Rajaro, trust me, fall.
Nice. Nice. Getting up getting up these stairs is crazy.
Or something like that. So this Hela also getting a ton more value just in the default, right? You don't have to play a punish or something that has to delete the Vanguards is bad because Rad's Vanguards are going to have to play slow anyways.
Yeah, and the reset's coming through now for the defensive side of Rad, who have been playing lights out this whole series, and this is the first time we've seen a little bit of weakness, but both teams traditionally have hit point 3 in this series, so maybe that is the norm now. Naga going to combine here with Trust Me, who's playing out.
How do you get all those already?
That bird escapes, but not going to live long here as Naga does drop Cal. Going to keep that pressure on right on top of Kalush,
Cal's going to need a TP.
Who's trying to escape using that psionic towards the back line.
Narrow got a fucking pick on the nice. Oh no. You got come on, Cal. You got to get that TP going. You got to get that TP going. No, I think it's a GR right here.
Cleans up month and window. Build different on the torch. OT comes through. Cal gonna try to portal play.
I don't think
it's close enough.
Oh, he touched! He touched and they got the torch!
And the shield
oh, never mind. Doesn't even matter.
But what a push.
Yeah, and what a push indeed.
What a defense, too.
What a defense. You talked earlier, I liked how you called that out. When Storm came in with the ultimate, you said Jean Grey, Phoenix commits the ultimate to get rid of those overhealth, and that's exactly how you called it. Did so much. Also, towards the end, Melio closed it out as well. I mean, everybody came back through. And you saw the ultimate pop, and you talked about how Wolverine, that passive, it gets deleted, unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
If the timing works out with Jean Grey, you break those, you force the Punisher pass, or not the Punisher, the Wolverine passive out. Jean Grey with the ult can delete him instantly.
Yeah, exactly. And you can actually land and have the impact damage hit first and then try to get the passive, which is kind of crazy. So that's definitely on the table. But yeah, for those who don't know about Storm obviously gets a ton of overhealth when popping that Hurricane. And like you said,
that's a good push.
Almost virtually, one of those more shadow counters.
That's a good push, chat. We take it.
That Storm. Yeah. So you got to keep that in mind. Great bubble there. Great understanding to hold on. So we will see the defense now for the side of Envy. Can they make sure that they buy enough time on point 1 to shut them down before point 3?
Man, they're fast with the photos.
Bring home this W and get 160 Gs and take home the title.
And that's a lot of EU dollars for sure. I think.
Oh shit, that's true. Chat, does anyone know? Let's see, 20,000. I mean, it goes to coaches and whatnot. Let's just say 20,000 divided by 6, just for the players. How much is that? Like around $25,000 per player? How much is that in?
And unfortunately,
probably around what, 20,000 euro?
Good character, and same thing with Bucky. But
probably
right now, Jean Grey is disgusting Melio, though, on the Wolverine this time because they know Window's going to be on the Groot. They're at least trying this out, and we know how good Wolverine here is on his first point.
Yeah, for sure. I do think this is a smart attack strategy right now. Naga doing the
Can someone do the math? I'm from Florida. I can't do math.
Not look way up behind, but I like that angle a ton. Panther can also take that angle if you use your cooldowns properly. Naga directly behind.
21K euro?
So
damn.
Up on the
that's a lot of money. But I mean, I'm pretty sure it also goes to their coach and analysts, and maybe they have like maybe the organization takes a little bit of it.
Find their way in already, getting low, still holding onto that passive. Naga's dunk could be terrifying if that does come through. Cal looking for the pull, just barely missing it. Good positioning there by Naga again. The whole team in a danger zone. Out go Crystals,
no, bro, this is really bad. Oh no, if they take this first point on the first push, chat, it's GG's. I'm calling it right now. If they lose the point, they need.
Walk them towards the center. Crook now doing the same with the dance floor, just a little bit better.
And Rad has the better dance.
Anyone's game. They're all close. Who gets to it first and who gets the first pick? But if Rad pushes through, this is a
Narrow. Get your ult, Narrow. Get your ult, Narrow. Get your ult, Narrow. No.
Absolutely, Kalush going down.
I don't know if he's gonna pop.
This is tough. You talked about better ults. I mean, that was just.
Wait, how did Spectated go off the map?
Coming back through to live in by Crook time.
This is a
might be GG's.
Insane push. Granted, Envy did hold on to Nero and Speedery in that moment. Kalush should be close too, but trust me, Fate, Melio, and Naga, and Rajaro, not only did they get point, they come out on top, an alt advantage. Things are looking dicey for Envy. They need to win some neutrals. They need to find some picks now, change the tide, or they will be in trouble as we are at game point here for Rad.
Game point for Rad. Last stand available for Melio. Rajaro comes out, slows down this height. Here comes a Supernova.
And here we go. Supernova out towards the backline. Dance floors to hold on as we see the Omega Hurricane coming through now. Sweeping towards the backline. Shields out. Speedery trying to deal some strong damage on the point. Cal gonna find Naga now. That's
nice!
Cal with great shots directly on the entire frontline domes as they just walk them in month. Now on a Rajaro, everybody back towards the spawn door now. Crystal's getting burned out early is definitely a win in terms of the trade. Speedery just gonna use this alleyway here as Storm with the piercing attacks to try to get that out incredibly quickly.
We need to see more like that out of Cal. That was the only time I think we've seen him pop off besides on Hella on Bucky. It's been a hard match for him.
Damn, I don't think
into this next fight. Melio with the last stand could go massive. And
I don't think Dogman likes the Bucky pick.
Difficult right now with and a huge last stand. On the front line of Kalush.
Nice, good heals, good ult.
Cal! On the cracking it back. Do I hear 4? Walking them now. Beautiful. Just gonna wait on this reset. Team did reset a little. Oh,
I think that wasn't Cal. I think Cal is going to get all the credit, but it wasn't Cal, chat. I'm pretty sure what happened is Cal ulted, hit a few people, but Window used his ult and hit people. But since Cal has the Bucky thing on them, he gets the credit because he got them technically lower than, you know, the threshold. I think Window actually hit that. But nonetheless, good play from both of them.
Doing a great job utilizing that speed of ultimate to force out everything and give your team a chance to keep fighting. Ult advantage in terms of the dance floor should be up here for Envy, who waited just a few seconds later. Melio now on that Phoenix.
Nice. Nice!
And wow, Nero finds Melio. Speedery on a Naga, not committing too much at all. Still holding on to
nice. Good job, Envy. I want Envy to win this, chat. I don't want to see a 4-1, bro.
They push this to another map.
And this is why North America, during stage number 1, with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock, we saw so many bans towards Speedery, especially that Storm. You're seeing why today.
I don't understand how Storm is so powerful, but Speedery is a disgusting player.
Is it worth fully committing the protection onto Naga and trying to get something else like an invis and just allow Naga to pop, or is it not? And that's the decision I'm struggling with as we see another Supernova come out, gets dunked out of the sky there by Cal. Well done again. That is what Cal is trying to do, just mark the entire time, and trust me in the sky with a meteor. After the shields, Nero's gonna fall now. Good combination. Does Trust Me go down? The crystals burn. Melio walking towards Kalush. Trust Me gonna find Speedery, and that is a ton as Cal falls as well. They are gonna get KO'd on point just to ensure they can get back to
They have another touch. They have another touch. They have another touch.
This is why we talk about Magneto being like sort of sometimes a better version of Venom, right? You can use the Magneto Meteor M to not only help the team, but then combine for that cycle that we were talking about with Jean Grey. Now in this upcoming fight, Rajaro does have that ultimate, but we've seen Envy with this situation. 4 ultimates. It's going to be scary. Nova's down!
Uh-oh, that's bad.
Melio is different, popping off there with Naga on the assault.
Oh my god, Month is the support ult, though.
Still an almost even fight as Cal is waiting, looking for a backline. Nobody there. Tries to turn it back, and that is a
nice. Come on, Month, come back. Month, come back and use your ult. Nice. I think they got it. I think they got it.
Right now, using all these cooldowns to stay healthy. Out goes another dance floor.
Sorry, chat.
On the side of Month. Will they maintain this positioning? Window now with a teleport through, using that wall to keep the team separated. But it gets
oh my god, did they block it?
And both teams are actually stuck for a moment. Going to go through the other side. Rajaro onto Window. 60 seconds on. Cal looking to try to get another Kraken impact. We see Kalush dealing a ton of damage, but Naga playing behind these portals like a wall, very low on the side of Speedery, who now resets. Naga gets Kalush, and this is dangerous. Up we go with the meteor ramp, but the dance floor's out. The shields are gone. Will the dunk come through? It does not. Now we see Rajaro ready for ultimate.
This is bad. Speedery and Cal almost had ults though. Nice, Speedery.
first, but gets walked right towards the back line. Do they fall? Spectated is able to escape. That is wild to me.
That's huge.
Rajaro holding on a tight angle.
Come on, Cal. Nice, Cal.
Psych guy lied.
He's not going to get another one now.
Serious value, but does go down there from Naga. And here we go with Naga with a supernova. Are you kidding me? The amount of ults being committed and how much back and forth we have is crazy.
Ooh, nice pocketing from the supports on each other. Nice. But, I mean,
and we're just dancing here with Window on the cap, trying to hold on.
I mean, he did push him so far back, and the team didn't get healed, so
Are you kidding me?
that was really good.
Around the cart, and they will get point two, I believe. And this is getting dangerous now. If you are looking at Envy, Melio spinning, Crook, Melio again, Crook
Hey,
again.
minute and a half, chat. Minute and a half. Rad needs to push it all the way to the end.
Bank, at least for Envy in the streets phase of the map. Now we enter the third point, and honestly, I don't know. Naga's doing so much here on the Human Torch. I know I was talking about earlier Melio popping off on the heroes that he's played, but Naga on the Human Torch came back into the series. Hasn't played much Human Torch, I'm sure, because of how often it's banned in practice and in matches. Now,
chat, you could also save a character to try to bait another character to get banned.
Can they do it? $150,000 in the line chip. And right now, Rad have that.
Envy saved Mantis.
It is almost over. If
probably
Rad
got the Adam.
Do this, Cal gonna find Melio early and say, I don't want
Warlock
this to end just yet. And that is what you need. You need these neutral picks. Now,
the ban phase is all mind games.
Gonna start out with a Psionic. Naga in a dangerous position. Gets away with the dance floor somehow. Now Naga falls. Well done on the tracing there by Cal, trying to keep this angle tight. Give your team another chance at the fight. Does force out some as Cal is close to that Kraken impact for a third time in a few minutes.
40 seconds left to go, Shift. 30 seconds left to go now. Tournament life on the line. Could Envy win it here and now with 27 seconds left? They can get 2 fights potentially here, so they have a solid cushion to work with.
It is an ult advantage slightly on Rad in terms of time, but we will see Nero now with ult speeder. He's about 70%. And Cal, that's all you've got is, trust me, Melio, Rajaro, soon to be Naga, Fate, already on Rad. They need this win if they want to close this
Holy
down.
shit, chat. Last fight. It looks like Envy's falling behind on the ult charge, though.
He's going to force out as Melio is going out with the Galactic Legend. Crystal's doing a great job keeping the team healthy. Collusion, Diamond, now goes the dance floor now. Patience was huge. Trust me, trying to land this. This could be massive. Onto the back line, does not land, but it does force out some more.
I think Rad has the better Luna ult, though.
Now with the Psionic Seduction. We see, trust me, Rajaro with the 2 picks. Will they get this done? Melio on a Colluge. Dunks again towards the back.
Actually, this is good. This is good, chat. This is actually really good. Okay, Rad has 1 ult, which is a support ult, but Envy didn't use their ults because they knew they had another team fight. Cal, Colluge, Month is close, and Window's going to have it. So, technically, this is doable. This is doable.
Seduce the Crook right now. That is the best case scenario. As out it goes. Melio falls early to Window. We see Naga on the height. They've got a touch here shortly. Psionic is out. Does it stop the Loki? It does not. Loki is able to get that dance floor copy. Cal biding time, counting to 12. Waiting to use that Kraken impact, and there it is. Bang on the Crook.
Oh, get it. Oh, I hate that. When do you hit someone with the ult and it? Wait, they see 9! Oh no, they got a few kills. Envy. It's not over yet, chat. 3-2
to 3 now.
Oh my!
On that map, it was.
Oh my God, I would be fucking drenched in sweat, bro. Literally, I'm from Florida, but you know we're in China right now. If I played in that match, I would be sweating so much that I would have brought the Everglades swamp in my fucking my underwear. That's how sweaty I would be. Jesus.
The torch with forcing Bucky.
Oh my God!
It really did work. I think we were both skeptical on it at first, especially on that initial attack.
Jeez, I cannot believe they pulled that off. Which, like I said, chat, they had good ults.
I cannot imagine what is going
on. You know what's really crazy? I knew it, bro. I knew it. You guys are gonna be like, J3, what do you mean? What do you know that you know? Whatever. I knew they should have saved Mantis and banned Mantis. I kept telling you guys that. You guys just never believed me. You guys are like, ban Phoenix, ban Human Torch. I told you guys, no. It's all about the Mantis. I told you guys. No, they need to ban those fucking characters, bro.
that close.
Proving
why they deserve to be here, but
okay, I gotta blow my nose.
They through the upper bracket beat Rad out.
I gotta. Who got third place? 100
That's
Thieves.
Crazy the fact that Rad is up in the series and lost on that map because of, like you said, I was skeptical. I think you were more of a believer of that ban phase, and you ended up 100% correct.
I just think you needed to shift it up. Me personally, just want a great series, and this gets me so hyped that you mentioned that we, maybe I've seen a little bit too many 3-0s, me and you personally, but we've typically.
Sorry, I was blowing my nose. AKA Mink, I appreciate the massive Prime sub. Appreciate it. Love you, stream, Jay. I thank you. It means a lot. Sorry, Chad, I was blowing my nose.
Yeah, I mean, this has just been so much fun. I do think that ban was better for them. I'm wondering what we're going to see change from Rad. Rad really hasn't needed to change too much in their ban phase. Slight changes when it comes to that Emma situation, but I think they just let it slide that time. Didn't think it was too much of a threat, but wow. Strategist line did a great job staying up from the Torch. I think Torch was looking threatening. I think especially map 1, the positioning as a unit back in
has it been raining a lot over there? I think the first 2-3 days it was raining a lot here, but the past few days have been very clear.
Biggest fear if I'm playing Strategist.
Very clear.
Yep. They pushed through it.
Yeah, I'm still sick. I'm sorry, chat.
Well, I mean, I know
I have to mute it. I don't mean to like sniffle or cough in the mic, but I'm trying to mute it a lot.
Strategist professionally.
Yes.
Over in this game, I play Duelist nonstop, so I love those characters. And on the opposite side, you play a ton of Vanguard.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like it's important to acknowledge both Month and Nero, and same thing with Fate and Level 1 Crook. But I feel like the catalyst, we always talk about Speedery, how good he is, one of the best players in the entire game. And I know everybody
Stop
knows
being
that already,
sick.
so
I wish it was like that.
To win this series, it is off the back of Cal.
It's crazy though, right? Like, hasn't Common Cold been around for so fucking long? How do we not have like something to prevent it or like cure it really fast or some shit?
Play in this series.
I mean, in terms of the Vanguard play,
like you know what? They need to make a device that you could like stick up your nose, like a little vacuum, and it just takes all of that stuff out. You know what I'm saying? That'd be nice.
Of Cap against, trust me, puts him in a Venom or Mag situation, and I don't think the success on Mag in terms of trust me.
Who won? You or the devs? Who do you think?
On the table and
obviously me, bro.
And you have.
When you have J3 on your team, it's impossible to lose. Impossible.
I just think that is a good strategy.
There's no one taller and more jacked
so exciting
than
series,
me.
Man. It's 100% on that note. I think, trust me, kind of has, I mean, everybody has similar hero pools. Everybody can sort of play Emma Frost. And it's those different changes, like you said. I mean, we have Window on Magneto sometimes able to pop off as well on different heroes. On Cap actually looked pretty solid. I mean, not necessarily making any insane plays, but stalling out for incredibly long. Yeah,
doing what Cap does, just distract and annoy. And there are some Caps that find a lot of success with more divey, aggressive playstyles. But if you are a Cap,
what's the next map? Depends on what the team bans.
So, I think we're going to be moving forward. It's got to be at this point, because we just did Converge. It's got to be a convoy map now. So curious what we will see from the side.
So the one we saw earlier was Igiso, right? So now we go to either what Midtown or
Spider Islands, which is a triple hold point. So, but this is going to be.
Do you remember who is better on which maps or any specifics, or it's tough? It's a hard choice because we've gone through already a lot of the maps.
Yeah, we've gone through a lot of the maps so far. I think we'll likely see Spider Islands because it does lend itself to that flyer.
How long will the stream be live going for?
I'm going to predict that they will allow
probably until the end of this tournament.
Success with it.
Yeah,
a very good flyer map is Spider Islands. So maybe they read it that way. I could, off the top of my dome, I can't remember their exact success rate on Spider Islands, but the only downside to that play, if it does go that way, would be that Envy does run triple in certain maps, and that is one of those maps that finds success with triple, where you can have that portal and guarantee 3 fights. So, and I think
Jay, when's the streamer game? It was before this game. It already happened. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on my YouTube channel tomorrow morning, chat. Just as a heads up. So if you guys want to watch it, it will be on the.
Even go for that torch hitting through.
Yeah, it'll be on there.
And if they go to Spider Islands, I mean, what does that Bucky do on that map? I know Bucky is good there, but. I mean, it's up for debate. I think how things go, especially with Jean Grey being removed. I think the ban system of the opposite side for Rad is set, but I don't know. Do you think they could make some deviations, make some adjustments going forward?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what would be the most successful for them. Maybe it is going after the strat line and forcing Torch to have more value, getting rid of that Loki. Because I think just having Loki stop the mag play, if they are going to ban out that Cap again and leave Venom more vulnerable, because I think now that Cal has showed that he's not afraid to pull out that Bucky, Venom is a little more scary, and with Invis still on the table, the team's willing to make the switch.
The switch,
swap switch.
The swap switch.
Chat.
He's a really good Venom.
Let me see. Does it show what devs we're playing? Oh, yeah, it does.
That's why you've been seeing him choose the Cap over Venom just due to survivability. So, I do think that going after a strat line, if you're on Team Rad, may help.
Okay.
Get rid of that low-key and just do what you just did in the last map and see how it changes. You do have another map before it evens out, so you have some time to play and learn.
Yeah, I think that's a good call out. I think we'll see some adjustments, but taking back a look at the stats, I mean, let me take a look at these actually for a second because they literally just showed up. So, I mean, trust me, it was definitely solid. And on the opposite side for Naga, I mean, nearly 40K damage. That's always going to happen for Human Torch, right? Speedery on the opposite side, nearly 40K on Storm. And I think that, you know what? This is what I was talking about earlier. I think each region has their specific things they're really, really good at, right?
Sure.
We already knew from stage 1, teams want to get rid of Speedery on Storm.
Yes.
That's a thing that happened constantly, and I don't think it's changed. I think you still want to get rid of that.
You just don't have the ban for it, right?
Right, right. Yeah. But prioritizing Speedery's hero pool was never a bad decision.
How much caffeine do you think these casters are on?
Yeah. So it's always a hard
that's a great question. I should ask him if they do like any caffeine or anything before this. Cal had 16 final hits. Oh, you guys can't see. Let me go mini J3. Oh, shit. Cal had 16 final hits. Speedery had almost 40,000 damage and 12 final hits.
Yeah. No, I do agree.
Wow.
I think that is the perfect call. It's yes, Month was the MVP with almost 60K, 62% accuracy with a flyer on your team is built different.
Dude, and he's following up on Psylocke dives and stuff.
Oh yeah,
we're always seeing with the KO feed, right? Just kind of across map, hitting sky shots.
32 assists too.
32 assists. I mean, yeah, he's hitting insane shots on Loki and also playing. So I think his backline is the best in the game, and it's funny because he's from Europe.
Stoked to show some love to Month, but you are right.
He's from the UK. He's a traitor to Europe, man. That's crazy. Always the good Stratos players are from the UK, oddly enough. Not many
Month is from Americas, but he
European, especially for UK individual.
Wait, he's a traitor.
You're right. I think first off, I want to show some love there to Month. That is awesome to see. I think, you know, a lot of times in ladder, you may be saying get off Loki when you're in the sky, but Speedery, he does play very low to ground when you're playing Storm, as you should with the boost, because it does enable a larger AoE of your damage boost, right? So that does help your team out, especially when you're running things like that Bucky, who can just essentially deal a ton of damage and knock flyers out of the sky consistently if there's any open area. But you can see here, Naga looks crazy there.
He looks crazy.
Oh, I want to keep those photos. I'll do it later.
When I know a lot of players have been talking about this on social media on X, they'll do this thing called rage baiting.
Sure.
Where they will make
rage baiting
tier lists and stuff like that. A lot of people on social media will talk about maybe this game getting a World Cup, right? Getting
if this game had a World Cup, that would be one of the fucking sickest things.
Wild to see.
But you have Canadians versus Americans versus people from Germany.
It would be the sickest. Like almost as sicker than me, chat.
But who do you think is the best duelist in the game? I'm going to throw you in the bus here. Which region, if we're talking about...
I just woke up, had it 100 Thieves lose 3-0, especially in the last match with both TT and Atlanta combined for the 40 final hits. That's a great question. You know what? You should watch that on my YouTube channel tomorrow when I upload it.
Bias, but I would have said this,
yeah, if you missed it.
I think I got to say Speedery. I think I have to say Speedery. I think Speedery has a large hero pool. We've seen Wolverine. We've seen... And the other thing you got to think of is playing a less meta hero at this level, right? Have we seen Storm run by very many other teams? No. We have seen it a few times, and it's more so to help with that hit scan. But Speedery doesn't care if there's that hit scan. Bring out the Bucky. They don't need that kind of damage boost. Instead, just gets raw value with Storm on her own. So Speedery's got to be my choice there for duelist.
Okay.
How about you on Vanguard?
Wait, did the Loki cleanse Bucky ult debuff by fading? No, it wasn't a fade. So I think it's really dumb that this is in the game. But if you are Bucky and let's just say there's a Loki copies the Luna, blah blah blah. The Luna is done, but he's still Loki, right? There's a few seconds before he switches back to like Loki. If you ult him when he's still on Luna and he transforms back to Loki, the Bucky ult disappears, and I don't like that. I think it's dumb. I don't think it's when he goes invisible. If you go invisible on Loki and I hit you with my Bucky ult, sorry, if I hit you with my Bucky ult and you go invisible, I think that the effect is still there. But it is kind of dumb. I have been fucked over by that several times. I'm like, oh my god, this guy just changed. He support ulted, and now it's a perfect time to hit him, and I hit him, and then he transforms, and it's just dumb. It's just dumb. But I mean, you could say in retrospect, like if you were like Bucky shouldn't be able to get his hit the clones and get another again, but I think he should.
Turning that momentum around, will they continue walking it and make that title known for themselves as the best in the world, or will Rad pull it off? I know you had said Rad.
Wait, I just realized. Did your friend cast my game in?
How about this on a 3-2-1 countdown?
In Chinese?
What region has the best strategist?
Oh, that's different.
All right, no, you just gotta say it in 3 seconds, okay? You ready? You're gonna say it. 3, 2,
Oh, you should.
1.
We can watch it. And you tell me what she says, or what's
EMEA? Okay, EMEA for sure.
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah, I mean, considering they have the backline over on Rad, then they also have on this side of the pond, we have.
And I think Fate, Fate pulling out the Jeff and finding more than enough value.
Marvel Rivals World Cup would be amazing. Yeah, bro, a Marvel Rivals World Cup. I would literally scream, but without the S, like I was saying, chat.
EMEA's region. So yeah, I like that. A good call out and way to do that at the same time together.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Synergy,
that's why
symbiotic.
We got the sync up, just like these players.
Look at that trophy.
They need to be synced at the current moment. You know, no matter where you're from, no matter where you are playing at the moment. You know, you can have a mixed roster at times. I've played with Korean players and, you know, talking with different languages.
Wait, Fortnite had a World Cup? Oh, that's so fucking cool.
That's a hurdle you have to climb sometimes, just having to communicate with your teammates in different languages and stuff and having to relay stuff. But both of these rosters have mixed rosters, sure, but everybody's native English speakers in this lineup today.
Yeah, I mean,
you didn't know that?
Just
no,
exactly.
When have I ever played Fortnite, or was it in the Fortnite scene? I didn't know that.
Got a sweep. It is getting
Rocket League has one too. Like I didn't know Rocket League had a World Cup.
Now.
He's always like that. These Finnish guys. I talked to his brother in the crowd as well. Super hyped, just super happy to be here.
Oh, that's the guy. There was I was in the. This was really awkward. I didn't tell you. It wasn't awkward. I was in the elevator going down to come back to see Emily after my show match, and there's a guy in the elevator, knew English, and he looked at me, and he was like, "Yeah, who do you think is gonna win the finals?" I'm like, you know what? I have more friends on Envy, so I hope they like sweep Rad. And the guy's like, and then I was like, "How about you?" Creating conversation. He was like, "My brother's on Rad." I'm like, "Oh, whoa, yeah, you know what? Good luck to your brother." I didn't know who he was talking. I didn't know who his brother was.
Great band from Envy. Great band from Envy. No difference here, folks, in the bands as last time.
Chat.
We need to see something different here from Rad.
Chat, they're not doing it, bro. They're not doing it.
Jean Grey once more.
They're not doing it. It wasn't awkward or anything, though.
And hard locking that. And that was a strategy that found them value initially, but they're starting to learn. Do we need to see a change?
They're not banning Human Torch, and they're not banning Jean Grey. Oh, wait. I think Envy gets the last ban. Nope. Rad gets the save first. Yep. Wait! Ban Jean Grey! Oh! No, not the Ultron! Oh! No, they banned the Ultron!
All right, Envy's going to be on the defense.
You had a chance. You had a chance to ban the Jean Grey.
Envy, like I have predicted, I have no doubt in my mind, will have triple here. Strange is through, so that portal will come around. The matter of time. It's all.
Are they really afraid of like triple support or something?
Push. If it's 30 seconds, then it is an abysmal failure. But if it's minutes off the clock,
my brain. I really want to ask the coach or like the players why are they not banning Jean Grey? They have to have a good explanation, chat. They have to have one. Maybe my Brian is too small. Maybe it's my Florida education. But my Brian no work. My Brian no work.
You know, that's just a disaster waiting to happen, just like this series.
Your Brian? Yes, Chad, I was making a joke instead of saying great.
Chaos. I couldn't put it better myself, Shib.
I love it. So we look now. You see Window Cal Kaluge back on the triple as the strategists are out. Speedery up in the sky with Ultron. And we are going to see Fate on the Jeff.
Oh, Cal! Oh, they're running the 3-3. 3 tanks, 3 supports.
Completely prepped for that. And they were essentially just hard focused on a millisecond whim as some of the team is elected.
Hi, my name is Brian. Oh, your name is Fart Goblin, bro. Come on.
We see Trust Me getting away from some of those group walls directly towards the back line on that Venom now. We haven't seen Venom quite yet from Trust Me. At least
wait, Fate's running the Jeff, chat. They're running Jeff. They're on Jeff.
I'd love to see Fate back on that Jeff.
They're running Jeff in a $500,000 tournament.
Like you said, trying to pressure out that low-key cart. Hasn't moved a single inch yet until now. It's capped by Rad, but everybody's still here for Envy side. Crystal's now forced out.
Remember, folks, Jeff can no longer stay indefinitely under, so it's just about chasing and trying to track. But trust me, and Naga gonna find 3, 4, 5 as the entire team is wiped. But we will see a teleporting again. A minute off the clock already.
And you can run, but you cannot hide from the symbiotic duo of Jeff and Venom. Venom Jeff in this case. I mean, is there symbiote in Jeff's skin? I guess there is, because they are synced up like two peas in a pod. 2 pods in a pea, pies in a pizza pod.
Peas in a pod.
Pod in a pea, pizza pod.
Pizzas in a pizza box, I guess, as we are starting up our next fight now. Portal comes through. Naga with some really good positioning. Team electing to drop back together. That's really good positioning. Jeff gonna go in that building, though.
Uh-oh, let's see.
Oh,
no. Oh, no!
With a 4! Gonna get rid of 1! Will they be able to get to the end? They will. They're going to throw at the last second. Who has movement cooldowns? 2 of them do.
Oh, no.
Though. That is a big play. Cal going to find Naga. Fate now on the month. That was a massive ultimate. It's Jeff, if you will, coming in hot. What a play.
What a fucking play, chat. Why Jeff?
Tournament at the level he has.
By Jeff.
Rad. Keep this cart pushing forward. They only have 1 huge Stratus ultimate in level 1 Crook side. They just used it, so now Envy in the situation. They at least have the copy with Month, so they should have an edge here theoretically.
And bang, down goes Melio immediately on a Speedery. What a play once more. Month gonna start off with the dance floor, bringing them towards the point. We see Window popping that strangling. Do they collapse? Do they get value? Rajaro and Crook gonna find Cal. Naga onto Window, and the triple did not work enough for them here as Rad is walking through the first set of points.
They're collapsing. They need to stabilize, but they have Nero's ultimate, and they're doing it. They're stabilizing into the back line. Can they get the 1 shot with the Venom?
Melio gonna clean that up. Kaluj and Month go down. Now Nero, and wow,
they held for 2.5 minutes.
They took that last loss personally, and they do not want to stop here on a convoy.
The change for Envy put Cal back over to the Star-Lord to help maybe with the dives, maybe also get some free damage on the Jeff with the spin, right, with that Galactic Legend as well in the sky. There's no Magneto to maybe counter you.
I can't believe they're playing Jeff, chat. I can't believe they're playing Jeff.
To play that mag could be a change that Envy wants.
If you came to me and said this morning, hey, do you think Jeff's going to be played in a $500,000 tournament? I'd say you're on drugs.
Is it big enough towards the strategist line?
There's 1.
Does find 1. Cal gonna try to make this happen with a spin. 20 HP. Does get the heal and is gonna. Goodbye, Luna.
No
more dancing for you as Cal
no.
Gonna take out. Trust me, they'll try to trade these. Kalush very low.
No, chat.
From Naga, and wow, Rad. They're doing what they need to do. Window gonna find Fate now over on the Venom and is gonna jump right back onto the Jeff and try to find a way to stop this Jeff before Jeff becomes a force that is un-KOable.
Yeah, is Fate gonna switch? No, there's no reason to. I mean, who needs the most overpowered Stratus ultimates when everybody inside the Fate of the Worlds, because the copy for Month is only going to be onto Luna Snows, everybody's inside that ult. Jeff's there to counter it every single time.
This is awesome watch again. Jeff finding value as Kaluj is going to take out level 1 and right back.
Wait, is he about to solo ult the Jeff?
Oh, it isn't going to be enough damage. It should be.
There's no way that they solo ulted a Jeff, bro. Is he really that much of a problem? You must have insane aura for playing Jeff in a $500,000 tournament and also get solo ulted.
It's all about now having as many ults as possible and exploiting the fact that there's not 2 strategist ults on Rad.
Yep. The audience treating Jeff like comic relief. I mean, just kind of
I respect
over
it.
There, being forced to use the entire
I respect it, chat.
Here it goes into the sky with the Galactic Legend over the high. Can't get 1. Naga goes down. Fate of the World's not there to save him in time.
Oh no.
Subdued.
He got a pick though. He traded. That's good.
Able to take it back. At least 5 versus 5 now in this fight shift.
Ult still held here for Rad. Speedery gonna find Fate though, and that is a big pick here. Rad is out now with the dance floor from level 1 Crook. Nero still dancing. Window holding on to that feast. Kaluj gonna go cap that point and allow it to slow up and go in the opposite direction for a little bit. Buy us some more time. Supernova is out with Phoenix and another feast here from Trust Me, which does not land. Everyone pressing.
Chat. They have Jeff ult. They have Jeff ult.
No, Cal playing a little aggressively, thinking that the team would commit to those ultimates. Does bite him a little bit there as Naga out of the sky to Window. What a shot by the side of Rad.
But they have time. The cart isn't that far necessarily, so if they can find the back line right now, they're diving on them towards the spawn. But here comes everybody back. Out. Yeah, he's used the crystals.
And they've got to get back here and touch.
Oh no, chat.
Oh
no. The Jeff is running away so he can use his ult and they don't hear the voice line.
hopefully waiting to see if they can counter this month in a dangerous spot here.
He's TP'd away.
Does get the teleport.
What a TP, bro. Cal. What a month. 5 head. He baited the Jeff and then TP'd so he didn't get. Oh my God.
What a compositional switch. I think this is very, very smart.
Yes.
And also you have invulnerability to Jeff ult when you are ulting as Punisher.
And now Fate's going back over to Cloak and Dagger because of, like you said, it wasn't working to Jeff. We saw some awesome plays in the map 1. Now Rad forced to adapt. Envy having the stronger backline, I think, in terms of heroes, but Rad still can make it work.
Yeah, they are going to be slightly behind and alt here. Cal now going to go out with Judgment. Final Judgment, a ton of damage out, forcing them back in that angle. That is enough. Can they find a pick? That could be massive.
Nice, Cal.
Melio now up in numbers.
That's huge. That's a huge pick.
And that's a double whammy in terms of
advantage. Cal might be dead, though.
Cal walking right back towards them. Great utilization of ultimates to keep
nice.
As Nero is dancing, Naga goes down. Ults are going to be
wait, this is good. This is good, chat. This is good. This is good. Come on, Envy. Finish it. 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 Finish it.
Get Melio now. Rad needs to hold on. Can they use that shield to stay healthy?
That's a huge ult by Fate.
Very weak. Melio is going to go.
Wait, block it, block it, block it, block it. Nice shot, Cal. Nice shot, Cal. Oh my God, chat.
Will they stop this? Will they end this and try to push through? As
we might see a Game 7. This is a great series. If Envy wins this, this is a great series, chat. Game 7.
Throughout the series, next level. We talk about Wolverine being one of the best heroes at stalling out the cart, getting so much damage. I mean, just in person with the highest in the game. Same thing for Punisher. Cal doing so much, I think, throughout the series. We talked about Speedo, we talked about Melio, we talked about Naga. Opposite side, Cal.
Oh my goodness.
The entire time. And right now, Envy's locked in. Holding in Street's phase is huge, but any map, Spider Island, you know, anything is possible here. As you know, you made it that far.
Chat.
There's so much on the line right now.
If Envy wins this,
oh my!
It's 3-3.
I have to call this out once more.
That means it's tied. 50%.
When they were going against the Jeff was
getting
valuable amounts of huge ultimates and so much value across the board. They had to switch things up, and they did, and instead ran that Punisher comp. Really start sweeping through them. I think the big change for me was when they went towards Storm, and all they're trying to do is Storm and with Star-Lord is press Q off cooldown as fast as possible. Force the strategists to ult. The only one dance floor you've got.
Ooh, this is good. This is a good game.
Nothing. Storm becomes way more valuable. You have now Star-Lord who can team wipe. That stuff right there is how you counter a Jeff comp.
Envy, like you said, they've done it all. They've countered Rad at points, but they're going to do it again on their attack ship. And I think Rad as well on this first point where Envy was playing. I mean, inside rooms, the Jeff ults are always going to be big, especially as you have tighter corridors on this first objective. But we go to the second phase of the map, it's longer range that Loki has.
Wow, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage.
So that was kind of what I was speaking on the defense, and this map just plays to that flyer. Although I do think Torch it finds more value a little closer.
They swapped sides, too. They put Melio on the Torch and Naga back onto the Phoenix.
Oh, very true, because Naga was getting so much value on the Phoenix. What a what tracking there by Cal up into the sky. I do think that's a crazy change. You're right. Naga back on it. That Phoenix could be very valuable. Naga's been killing it on Phoenix, but Kaluj on a trust.
Actually, you know what's going to be really smart? You know, wow, good job, Envy, good job, Envy. You know what's going to be really crazy? If Window gets his ult and combos with Cal just has to shoot at people who are standing still. He'll be able to kill through support ults. So that combo is actually really good. And Speedery is a god in the sky.
Map if we get there, because right now, like you said, Speedery on the Storm has been the biggest change.
Wait, what the hell?
And honestly, that's why we saw in North America people banning out Speedery's Storm.
And we begin once more. Cal in the turret with Mud, just raw damage through the dance floor. That's 2! Are you joking? Up to Naga now. Cal getting chased. Great crystals. Out we go with Storm. Once more with the Omega. They didn't have to commit 2 month. Cal and Window still holding here. Ton of damage out onto Cal. The Hurricane gonna find Melio right through that passive.
Wow, they're beating up Cal.
They are shoving through.
They capped. They have 5 minutes. They have 5 minutes. There's no way they lose this. There's no way.
It's a Loki v Loki battle. Oh, God, great shield. Oh, my goodness, Kaluj. That was gorgeous.
And they have 4 ults, chat. They have 4 ults. They have 4 ults. I mean, mind you, Rad has 3.
So much time off the clock, though.
Halfway to a 4.
Rather, 4 minutes and 38 seconds. Envy is playing that objective so well. That's where they succeeded on the last map. That's how they're succeeding here. Just constantly playing that payload, making sure Rad aren't in a good spot at all times, right? Constantly in weird positions. And right now, this has got to be the toughest spot to be in with 4 minutes and 23 seconds on the clock. That's a daunting time bank.
Yeah, we start once more, folks. Here we go, out with the Psionic off the rip. Now looking directly towards the Venom, trying to deal a ton of damage with that boost there from Storm. And looking at
my God. Oh, Rajaro with the LeBron James windmill behind the back dunk.
Rajaro.
Oh, my.
Going to keep this team alive, right? We talked about how he needed to switch to Magneto. That was the #1 point on defense. Right now he's over to Mag. We'll see if they can keep it up. A lot of time still on the bank. 3 minutes 50. That fight.
But you know what's available now?
What?
The final. We're going to have Cal out there with Punisher, who's going to go crazy.
Yep.
That is now off the board. It was a great counter there to a strategist ultimate.
Caster cursed.
Cal falls as soon as I caster cursed immediately. Still holding on to that ult, though.
Yeah, dude, it happens all the time. I was like, we're talking about a player.
Envy needs to use Windows and Cal's ult before level. I mean, level 1 Crook's going to have a support ult. But that's fine. Cal can kill through the support ult.
Again, trust me, showcasing how strong they are. Venom, notice that immediate disengage, folks. Force out cooldowns. Do not commit. You don't need to. Force those cooldowns out without using your cooldowns, and then go back in like this. And Melio out is going to get locked down.
Nice.
Will they use this momentum?
Wait, they're not using Cal's ult. Wow.
Now up to the Psylocke. Will we see a follow-up? Holding on to these. Nero's dance floor is all they need now. Month is going to fall. There we do lose.
Pump it into them. Pump it into them.
Coming in from Speedery. Right back on to Fate, who's in the danger zone. The patty cake for days.
No, he should have stayed. He probably could have killed them.
Illusion's going to find Rajaro in the meantime, though, yes.
Well, who's back here? Is that
Yo, Adam, Fusion Rounds have 3 months.
It is Naga, yeah.
Okay, so he's going to be alive in the back line, man. They're getting dicey.
Things are dicey for sure. 3 minutes on. Point still moving. Naga is going to get that help. Cal with a shotgun out, looking directly towards Venom. Here comes that final judgment.
No cover.
Right up in the sky. They need heals, but does not as Melio plays a little bit differently with some good focus. Way to make that happen for Melio now. Month goes down from Rajaro, and everybody is starting to panic as Rajaro will have that meteor.
2.5 still, chat. 2.5.
Sort of Punisher all in the future.
Rad could still do this. I mean, Cal on Punisher is solid, but because you switch to Magneto, that's sort of a soft counter to the Punisher, right? With that Meteor M, with the bubbles, you have sustain. Honestly, Rad's decision to make that swap has been the biggest reason why I think they're winning here, but we need to see a lot out of Melio still on Human Torch.
We have Rajaro out and Fate now, folks. Level 1 Crook, very close with Naga. Entirety of Rad, almost there. Window trying to work their way up. Collusion Month, both holding on. Psionic Seduction could be massive into the sky. Trust me now, trying to dive onto Cal. There's that Psionic towards the back line. Not going to do much besides buy them space. Walking, we go. 1 HP onto the front line, but no, not enough.
Rad has a lot of Rad has a lot of ults here, chat. Rad has a lot of ults here. Nice blocks. I mean, they still Rad has all their ults. Envy has nothing.
Wants to play on that off angle. Naga tries to land the stun. Cal gonna find Melio.
Wow, they're still using.
Now looking at trust me, excuse me, still walking, and they're low. Speedery walking them down. The Hurricane ready.
Yeah, they need to play the live though. They need to play the live. Rad has a better support ult.
Or excuse me, Phoenix does land. Trust me, cleans that up with Cal.
Yep,
that is enough.
No, I wouldn't commit. I wouldn't commit. I wouldn't commit. Save your ults for the last team fight.
Spin to win on the Hurricane now is going through everyone. As oh my goodness, Trust me still up.
Yeah, no, he limbs.
Oh,
and
no,
bro. Finds, Trust me.
Yeah, chat. I feel like they should have.
Can Rad do this? Naga
1 minute. 1 minute.
These ults got used.
Dude, they're getting
what
so
a win
nervous.
here from Rad.
46 seconds left to go. I mean, they were right there towards the end.
40 seconds, last fight.
Has been phenomenal. Near perfect. 40 seconds
Fate
left.
almost has ult.
Shore's getting picked off a couple times, but he's got the Supernova coming up.
They're playing for Cal. They're getting bubble out from window, and they're playing for Cal's ult.
Okay.
That is what needs to happen.
Yeah, but Rajaro is almost going to have ult too. You're going to have to protect Cal. I think Rajaro is going to have ult for Cal, so you're going to have to protect him. Month almost has the Invisible Man ult. Fate, bro, I think Rad's going to win. They're closer to the support ults.
And here's that counter from Supernova. Very low, 120 HP, and it is dangerous. Cal looking dicey. Naga is going to find Speedery. Out goes. Oh, broken immediately there, unable to see where Cal was. 2 seconds on, they do have to touch. They are in OT now. This is an insane fight as Rajaro's now on Cal. Will they end this, folks? Out goes another dance floor from
Nah, I think Rad wins this. They have the better ults.
Out Kaluj. It's that's huge. Kaluj finds
I think.
Crook.
Yeah, this is GG's. It seems like this is GG's.
Oh my goodness, the teleport comes through. Can they maintain the space? Holy moly, folks. It is back and forth.
Nah,
and
this is GG's.
Fall here. They come for glory. They leave with immortality. Rad are not just winners. They've carved their names in Marvel Rivals history forever.
Made this possible, Adam Huang and the esports production team, Guang Guang, Ji Young and the NetEase Games team, Danny Koo and Marvel Games team.